Let me see if it's working. Hmm. Hello, hello. All right, so it's on. Welcome to anybody who decides to stop past. This is a behind the scenes of me recording everything that I want to. This is a behind the scenes recording. Like I'm just gonna tape all my segments live, and if anybody wants to just watch and come through, hit the like button when you come through. You just come through real quick, say hi, and leave. That's fine. But I just wanted to record my segments live. You know, so there we go. All right. So anyway, and I hope everybody's having a wonderful day, a wonderful morning. Look at this hair and makeup really messed me up today. No, I don't have hair and makeup. Anyway, so I hope everybody's having a great day and a wonderful beginning of the week. Whatever's on your mind, you can get through it. Just pray or meditate, whatever it is that you need to do to get through it, to keep your mind calm, clear, and come up with great solutions and results. Okay. There's a lot of stuff going on in the news, but everything will be okay. We can't change everything, but it's all about how we look at it and then how we navigate through it, whether it's national situations or personal situations, right? Whether maybe somebody just lost a job. That's a lot right now in this economy. So maybe um, it feels like the end of the world. It's not. I know it's easier said to just say, like, oh, it's not the end of the world, but it isn't. You still have tomorrow. This might be that push that you needed to do that thing that you wanted to do, you know, something that you really have a passion to do. It might be that, or maybe that place is not where you should be, or you know, you're more valuable than that place. That's basically what I just said, or just anything, or maybe there's something else better in store. But cry, be upset about it, and everything. Get through that feeling because you have to let out your emotions, and then ease your mind and come up with a solution, come up with a plan. Okay, so that's just a little bit of advice, right? So like I said, again, easier said than done, but it's all about how we choose to handle conflicts in life. All right. So now that we are going to start taping, every time, so when I haven't been on camera for like a while, maybe if it's like a week or something, I get this yeah, like it's like this knot in my chest. I don't know if it's anxiety. And you would think after having this channel for 2 years that I would just now just jump on and not get anxiety, but I still have this bit of anxiety that I get. And it's like, just breathe through it, just breathe through it. But I'm breathing through it. So we'll be all right. We will be more than all right. We'll be great. Okay. It's time for some new hair. Okay. All right. So let's get started. Um, like I said, this is me taping my segments, and what I'll do is I'll go back and I'll parse them and make them um, the segments for the week and put them out. So y'all get to see a little bit about like how I do it. How I do it. I just turn it on and talk. So right now, Corinne Jean Pierre, she's having a um, press briefing. She is annoying. She is so annoying. Let me just a little bit. All right, this is what she does this stuff all the time. So I'm gonna start off with a little bit of her talking. I cannot stand this woman. I really can't. But gonna pause right there. So if you see me, I'm doing all these like hand gestures, and I'm like doing this, and because that's how she talks. I This girl is, she talks like Obama. Obama does the same thing. He has those mannerisms. Well, the people, when they come to, you know, we try to make sure. Shoot. Okay, yeah. All right. We try. We try to make sure. That we're talking to the people of America, and so they move their hands because they don't know what they're saying, because they're really they're gaslighting you. They are. So they have to think of the words for them to come up, and then they use their hands to keep you focused, and like, to keep you on them while they're thinking of the next gaslight word. What this girl is talking about, this abortion thing, this Roe v. Wade thing that Democrats keep trying to make it seem like this horrible thing that happened. What? That the legislation got sent back to the states, that states have rights now to make choices based upon their state, how they would like abortion to go. That's all that happened. That's all that happened. And they know that too, but they have to keep gaslighting you. And we're going to call it out. And we need to make abortion legislation, acceptable for every woman in America. What do you mean? It is. It is. What do you mean? These Jones don't have a hard time figuring out how to have an abortion. Trust me, they don't. And if you're talking about the pill, because it was a boycott Walgreens that was happening, so where they were saying, boycott Walgreens. Why? Because Walgreens was like, "Oh, we are not going to give out that pill. Like, we're not stocking it here at our pharmacy," because Walgreens knows that they're not trying to take that liability. People don't understand how that pill works. It induces bleeding, and a lot of people just continue to hemorrhage off that. You have to keep bleeding until the whole baby comes out, and all the lining and everything. Okay. um but that people are mad, I guess, because these people want, when I say they want abortion on demand, like they want to be able to, like, yo, like, yeah, let me DoorDash an abortion. Okay. Like, that's how they want to do it. That's how they want to do it. So now they have to gaslight you. But let me show you how racist this woman is too. She's absolutely racist. What's up, traditions? What's up, Coach Mike? On, thank you for coming through to the behind the scenes. You go through that too. Yes, I don't know. I just have this thing on my chest. All right. Let me wait a minute. Uh, I didn't never share that. You see the mistake that I made. So now I have to like go back and like, freak, that is so annoying. I never shared it. You see what I'm saying? That is so annoying. Whatever, Casey, stop it. Okay. You cannot be live if you can't figure your life out. Um, let's try that again. I have to do that whole thing over again. All right. I'm sorry. I'm about to do it again.
Again, these past 2 years, again, Congress has to act. We need to make sure that they do their part in this, as the president is taking actions to give the American people confidence.
Does the president view Jerome Powell's stewardship of these events as
I think I answered this question just a little bit to your. Look, the president has been very clear about especially the day that Roe was no longer the law of the land, that we needed to do everything that was possible to make sure that we protect women's rights to health care, and he's been very clear about that. I don't have any specifics to say on those particular potential pieces of legislation, but clearly we welcome legislation that's going to support that, that's going to support women being able to make their own decisions on their health care. And it is shameful. It is shameful that we're seeing extreme elected officials out there talking about national ban on abortion, and we're going to continue to call that out. We should not be talking about taking away the freedoms of Americans across the countries, of women across the country. And so we're going to continue to be very clear about.
Okay. So let me do that again because I realized I didn't share it. Okay. Okay. And so if you see me making the hand gestures, again, this is how they talk when they're gaslighting you. They make sure to keep their hands moving, and then their eyes, they blink because they're looking up, thinking of the words, because they're gaslighting people right now. Like what you saw there, what she's talking about is, Roe versus Wade, that women are still, so liberals are like tripping because Roe versus Wade was reversed. What? It went back to the states. We're not supposed to be a centralized country anyway. States have the right to make their own decisions on how would they like their state to run. So maybe there is a state that says that I don't want to have abortion in my state. Okay. And excuse me, a governor who's running that state runs on that platform and says, I want to ban abortion in this state, right? And another one says, I want it till 9 months. The people then have the right to vote which governor they want. So if you have a governor that says that and still wins the election, that means that the state has made a decision. They don't want abortion in their state. And be clear, nobody is doing that. Okay. Now, these people, they want abortion on demand so bad that this is all they complain of all the time. Like, you have to hear about Roe versus Wade, like some horrible thing happened to them, as if women aren't having abortions still. They're still having abortions. Don't worry. Okay. They're still having abortions. And the problem is, like, but they want abortion to be so instant. They want it to be so like at their disposable, at their will. They want to be able to, like the pill. I was saying earlier, but like the pill, Walgreens said that they were banning the pill. They weren't going to stock that pill, probably for liability reasons. Okay. And then people wanted to boycott Walgreens. Gavin Newsom was calling out Walgreens. Like, why? Why? Because Walgreens understand that pill, what it does is it makes you bleed out everything. Okay. Until the baby comes out. But if any little fragment is left over, you will continue to bleed. A lot of people hemorrhage. That's the part nobody's telling these girls, hyping them up about an abortion pill. Now, this one, she comes and make it seem like there's some sort of egregious thing happening to women with their reproductive rights, right? Like, no, that's not happening. She has to gaslight and find the words like Obama used to do back in the American people, or, well, yeah, we have to fundamentally, and their hands like you saying nothing. Okay. And I mean, it's like these people, like I said, they want abortion on demand. They want to be able to DoorDash abortions. Okay. But let me show you how racist this woman is bad though. I'm going to show you. Yeah, I had to redo the whole thing over again. So, all right, cool. Nobody's even watching right now. So hold on. So the cast of Ted Lasso is at the White House briefing. First of all, why is there a cast of anything at a White House briefing? I don't need, like, why is there and why do they look so giant compared to her? But why is there like a cast of anything at a White House press briefing? Like, what is this? Anyway, so and it began with Simon Nabetta telling Jean Pierre, you're making a mockery of the First Amendment, which is true. She treats that man so bad. I'm gonna show y'all who Simon is. Like, this should be a compilation of how she talks to Simon. Simon is. Let me show you first who Simon is. Okay, so this is Simon. Simon is a black man from Africa. Simon asks questions about real things. Like, he puts her on the spot. She doesn't like it, so look at this tweet. Even as U.S. officials continue to suggest that Ukraine is winning the war against Russia, President Vladimir Putin has visited the city of Mariupol in his first trip to Ukraine territory that Moscow annexed in September. The White House continues to say that President Joe Biden is opposed to any ceasefire and advocated by China because it will favor Russia. Oh, okay. And so, but it does not seem Russia is losing the war. This may go for many years, consume hundreds of billions of dollars, and kill hundreds of thousands of people, make some rich, but destroy Ukraine, which is sad. Absolutely. He has the perfect take on this. So this is why they don't call on a person like Simon, because Simon is like, I mean, Dan, they done said that he is trying to be Donald Trump's press secretary. Simon he goes against the allowed narrative. He's a black man and he's talking about Ukraine's not winning the war. Like, whoa, Blackie, like, how do you know that? Like, you're not supposed to know. You're supposed to, yeah, tell you. So now This is him saying like, it's been 7 months and you won't call on me and this, that, and the third. And watch how they all look at him like he's just watch.
Right, you're right. You're here for me. Refer me. No. That's not. We're not doing this. We're not doing this. We're not doing this. We're not doing this.
From across the room, you've been discriminating against me and discriminating against some people in the briefing room. And I'm saying that this is the US, this is not China, this is not Russia. This is not Russia.
Okay.
What you are doing, you are making a mockery of the First Amendment.
Decorum, please.
Simon, decorum, please. Decorum, please. You know, but nobody's gonna say anything on Simon's defense because Simon is not talking like a loud blackie, right? It's okay to talk to him like that, right? Isn't that what y'all call a Karen who just told him decorum?
7 months, you've not called on me. You've not my messages. I'm saying that that's not right. That's not right.
Fun times. Welcome, guys. Welcome to the press briefing room. Okay.
Then she puts the actors and actress on a weird spot, and then they, you know, like it feels weird for them. It does. It does.
Some people, but this is not right. Sure, let it go.
Sir, let it go. 7 months, she won't call on him. Sir, let it go. Please, y'all, like and share this video. Please share this far and wide. There is a racism happening. There's a real racism happening at the White House, guys. I know how that makes y'all feel. Come on, y'all, because this is wrong. 7 months?
Are we ready? Are we going to behave?
Are we going to behave? She just belittled that man on national TV. This is not, you don't have to have cable to see this. This is not right.
While many folks...
Decorum, please. Simon. Sorry to our guests. We apologize.
Yes, I apologize.
Then they have to apologize for the blackie. Yo, I'm about to go off the live and freaking edit this right now and put this on. This is insane. This is not right. Like, this is not right. Like, how is this okay? Oh, why? Is it because she's doing it? And then the liberal white people act like it's okay for them to act like that? Oh, we apologize to you for our token okay, who doesn't know how to act. He's being a savage. What's going on in the White House? The Department of Equity and Inclusion, Diversity? What? Oh, no. I can't stand her. Okay, you guys keep it locked right here. I'll see you guys at the next video. Bye. That's what I say, you know, at the end of the videos, guys. That just seriously irritated me, though. That really did. Karine Jean-Pierre has no right to act like that, especially when English is not her first language. Okay? Damn it, I should put that in I should say that in the video. So we probably just won't say bye when I edit the segment. Let me hurry get through the rest of these segments, though. But yeah, no, she has no right to treat that man like that. Wow. All right. Let me see what else I got, because I bookmarked a lot of things I needed to discuss with you guys today. All right, guys. Here we go.
Russia's conquest today, that if coming out of this meeting, there's some sort of call for a ceasefire, well, that's just going to be unacceptable, because all that's going to do, Mike, is ratify Russia's conquest to date. All that's going to do is give Mr. Putin more time to refit, retrain, reman, and try to plan for renewed offensives at a time of his choosing. We hope, and we've said this before, that President Xi will call and talk to President Zelensky, because we believe the Chinese need to get the Ukrainian perspective here. Hey.
They don't need to get the Ukrainian perspective here, because the Ukrainian perspective is losing. Absolutely, it is. It is absolutely losing. What? Okay, John Kirby. See, okay. So what's going on is that that Xi Jinping went over to Russia, or is he? Oh yeah, on Monday. Yeah. So today, to meet with Vladimir Putin. Be clear that whatever they're talking about is something quite important, because they could have Zoom called each other. Okay. So whether it's about y'all get to see it all, whether it's about money alliances, army alliances, ceasefires, there's something that they don't want getting leaked, because Xi made the trip all the way to Moscow. Okay. Now, what a lot of people are a lot of people are uh like shit. I do that too. Um, what is the word I'm looking for? Speculating. There it is. A lot of people are speculating that he's going to talk to Putin about a ceasefire. Okay. Now, just a little background if you don't know, China is actually conducting peace in the Middle East as we speak, something that America was supposed to be doing. This is why people have to understand when I say choosing a president is like very important. And just because somebody can govern a state does not mean that they can run a country. State and country is two totally different things. And your foreign policy has to be on point because you have to have a balance of how strong you look, right, without bluffing, also with diplomacy, and then with tactical moves that are calculated to keep you still on top on the global sphere, right? So our last administration, Donald Trump, he was starting to conduct peace in the Middle East with the Abraham Accords. He was getting, I believe it was Israel and was it Bahrain and all, and they were all starting to talk. And Donald Trump was conducting this because he understood, like, let's get peace going. Everybody, but we're still going to be strong, right? But we get some peace going because then we can do more trading that way, and we can, get more resources, right? And that's really how you do it. You don't want to be in a war all the time. You don't want to be in a war all the time if you care about your country. Let's put it that way. But if you only care about your dollars, but yeah, you want to blow everything up because Halliburton, Raytheon, and who else? Halliburton, Raytheon, and there's another one, Lockheed Martin. They're, you're getting that money, right? So this is what this administration is about. Now, you have China is conducting peace in the Middle East because Iran and Saudi Arabia have actually come to the table for a rapprochement to talk about whatever, I guess, conflicts they've had. They're talking about Syria might be involved, Turkey, the Kurdish, all kinds of, was it the Kurdish? Just because I just watched the episode on the Zaran talking about this, that basically these countries, they're coming together and to at least talk, right? Because what they realized is in this administration, they've had time to sit back and realize that this administration is obsessed with Ukraine. Okay, so they're not paying attention to anything else. And then they're remembering that when past administrations would come through to give aid, they also had to take in their lifestyle choices. I'm going to give you money, but you have to live how we live out here. You can't tell people that. You either want to invest in the country or you don't. China goes into a country and it seems like they invest because I haven't heard anything egregious happening in Ghana or anything else because of the Chinese. So I don't know, right? But Russia's doing the same thing. Okay, this is just the reality. And so what ends up happening is that this makes China become the dominant country in the world, in the globe, right? When America will say, "Oh, we're dominant," and all whatever, y'all so focused on Ukraine that everything, it's happening anyway. It's happening. So, but Xi Jinping and Putin, they're very smart. He already says no. They put America in a corner. So now this will ask a very straightforward question. What do you want exactly out of this war? What is it you want? If there's a ceasefire given by China and America says no, Ukraine has to fight what? If Putin says, fine, I'll stop, which I think is actually would be crazy of him to do because this will never stop, right? But if they say, fine, I'll stop, and America, like he's saying, is saying, no, it's unacceptable. But why is it unacceptable? But because China's bringing it along? Because it brings up their hegemony? What do you, hold up. I thought we wanted peace, right? I thought we wanted the Ukrainians to have most of their land and all that. Wouldn't it work out good? Wouldn't that be what you want? But you don't want that because you want to keep using Ukraine as boxing gloves to Russia. Okay? That's what you really want to do. You want to keep pushing this weak kid to go fight the bully, right? But it's not working. And you need to get rid of Russia because lifestyle, the policies that you're trying to what is the word? Infest this world with, LGBTQ, all this, anything that, all the Marxism and communism, real communism. And this is crazy because I'm talking about a country that is supposed to be a communist country. But anyway, all of the Marxism, whatever, the spiritual battle that's going on out there, because I don't care what anybody says, there is a special church over there in Ukraine that these people look towards, okay? Bipartisan, okay? There's something about that Ukraine, all right? And you don't want to stop. You want to get rid of this big Russia because they are getting in the way of whatever contract you've made with whatever devil it is, whatever sacrifice that you need to make, whatever it is. Because his face, look at that face. He is, if anything is true, if as sure as he's born, okay, we will not have this ceasefire. And like Lindsey Graham said, they will fight to the last Ukrainian. Wow. You guys keep it locked right here on this channel where we talk about everything going on in the globe, worldwide, cultural, at home, and how it affects you. It is important to know how these people work because they lie to us every second of the day. Every second of the day. All right. Thank you for watching. Bye. All right. So like I'm not off the live, guys. Remember, this is background stuff. Sorry. Whew. Hi, Chichi Me. Thank you for coming through. So if you and if anybody else comes through, please hit the like button. So what I'm doing here is like I'm taping my segments, but I was like, let me just do it while I'm live, like a live studio audience. So thank you for coming through. Okay. Let's go back to Twitter because
You can't keep discriminating against some people in the briefing room because you don't
You have
like
to add
them, you
this.
don't like them.
So you have a choice.
No,
You have a choice.
against
You
me
have
and
a choice.
against a number of people
Okay.
in the briefing room, and I'm saying that that's not right. This is not China. This is not Russia. This is the United States. This is the White House. It's been 7 months. I sent you
Simon,
emails.
the rest of us are here too, pal.
It's been 7 months. You guys have not done anything for
If
me.
you have grievances, you should bring them to her later.
I have
Right
done
now,
that.
this is
I've
for the
done that.
entire
All my
press corps.
emails have been
And the
ignored.
press corps is tired of dealing with this.
It isn't
I've
just
done
about
that.
you,
I
Simon.
understand that you get questioned all the time and you don't understand what it is to sit here for 8 months and being discriminated
Hey,
against. I understand that you're in the front row and you feel
questions
comfortable and you
the
get
press
questions all the
secretary
time.
at
But
another
there are
time.
people in the back who don't get any questions.
Don't make assumptions about what the rest of us do. Mind your manners when you're in here. If you have a problem, you bring it up afterwards. But you are impinging on everybody in here who's only trying to do their job.
Okay, thank you. I'm saying that you shouldn't discriminate against some people because you don't agree with their question. You're offended by your
You made your
question.
point.
We all heard it.
she sits there, and I know I already did this segment, but I'm going to add this to the segment. She sits there and she lets them bully him and talk to him like that. And it's a whole room of people going at one person, and she lets him, instead of de-escalating it, I would be like, you know what? All right, listen, all right, fine. It's been 7 months. Just go ahead, ask the question. You know what I'm saying? Like, but I got to tell you, please don't ever have this outburst again, because then you're going to have your rights removed. No, she lets them bully him. I'm going to put this together. I want everybody to see this. Like, this is wrong. And for ADOS and FBA out there, foundational Black Americans, that's a Haitian doing that. To another, oh, dang, but I guess he's African, so y'all don't care, right? Okay. Anyway, moving right along. Like, that infuriates me. All right. So, all right, next segment, we're gonna see. We have here apparently Robin DiAngelo was teaching. Let's hear what Robin DiAngelo has to say. If you guys do not know who Robin DiAngelo is, she wrote a book called White Fragility, talking about how white people and their white privilege, they don't understand racism. The best thing to do is be an ally to Black people, and basically coddle them and make them feel stupid. Because that's just, because I don't know what else to say about this woman. Let's hear her talk, and more will come out.
And then I'm a big believer in affinity space and affinity work. And I think people of color need to get away from white people and have some community with each other. And I'll let that go and maybe see if anyone else wants to pick it up. And then
I wish I could hear what these two dummies over here. Yes, dummies. Yes, yeah. This lady just said white people need to get away from black people. You have to understand, she's very good. She has worked it out, constructed it that she comes like she's helping you get away from white people and have some community, right? And then y'all do y'all thing, right? And then what she's really saying is that I don't want to be around y'all. Okay, she doesn't listen. I don't like her. I don't want to be around her, right? But this is how the liberal can bring this kind of segregation, like racism, and paint it like it's good for you. Be clear. People are saying she sounds a lot like Scott Adams. No, Scott Adams is responding to this kind of behavior. That's why I give him a little bit of a pass, because if I have to keep seeing this rhetoric that just because I'm white, I'm automatically like a problem. I'm a white heterosexual male, I'm automatically a problem. I'm gonna be like, I'm gonna back off of people too. This isn't what she wrote a book telling people, that of how to deal with racism and everything. And the book, it really just uplifts white people. Let's look at some. Let me see if I can find an excerpt from his book, because I, of course, did not read the book, but hold on. Let me take this off. I saw her name on up here. Robin DiAngelo, Nice Racism, How Progressive White People. Hold on a second. I just want to see if I could find. I'm not sure that this is going to be the dehumanizing condensation of white fragility. The popular book aims to combat racism but talks down to black people by John McWhorter. I must admit that I had not gotten around to actually reading Robin DiAngelo's White Fragility until recently, but it was time to jump in. DiAngelo is an educated, I don't care about all that. I'm just, because we're doing this on the fly, so hold on. A diversity consultant who argues, she's a diversity consultant, okay, who argues that whites in America must face the racist bias implanted in them by a racist society. Quite amazing. She can't believe in God. Their resistance to acknowledging this, she maintains, constitutes a white fragility that they must overcome in order for meaningful process on both interpersonal and societal racism to happen. It's because I'm looking for something else. Following the death of George Floyd. Wait a minute. DiAngelo has convinced administrators. So they're teaching her book too, by the way, in universities. They have to look inward. She operates from a now familiar concern with white privilege, aware of the unintentional racism lurking inside of her that was inoculated from birth by white supremacy on which America was founded. To atone for this original sin, she is devoted to endlessly exploring, acknowledging, and seeking to undo whites' complicity with investments. This is like saying the same thing over and over again. This is like kind of getting on my nerves. It's such a major bugbear. when writers who are this for one, D'Angelo's book is replete with claims that are either plain wrong or bizarrely disconnected from reality. Exactly who comes away from the saga of Jackie Robinson thinking he was the first black baseball player good enough to compete with whites? Imagine instead the story D'Angelo writes when something like this: Jackie Robinson, the first black man whites allowed to play Major League Baseball. But no one need imagine this scenario, as others have pointed out, because it is something every baseball fan already knows. Later in the book, D'Angelo insinuates when white women cry upon being called racist, black people are reminded of white women crying as they were lied about being raped by black men eons ago. But how would she know? Where's the evidence of this presumptuous claim? And especially weird passages where D'Angelo breezily decries the American higher education system in which she says no one ever talks about racism. I can get through graduate school without discussing racism, she writes. I can graduate from law school without discussing racism. I can get through a teacher education program without ever discussing racism. I am mystified that D'Angelo thinks this laughably antique depiction reflects any period after roughly 1985. For example, okay. So God, this I just want to get hold on. We must consider what is required to pass muster on non-fragile white person. Refer to a bad neighborhood and you're using code for black. Call it a black neighborhood and you're racist. D'Angelo's logic. You are not to describe such neighborhoods at all, even in your own head. You must not ask black people about their experiences and feelings because it isn't their responsibility to educate you. Instead, you must consult books, websites. Never mind that upon doing this, you accused of holding actual black people at a remove, reading the wrong sources and drawing lessons from them. So basically, this woman, her thing is this. It's like she's like saying, her thing is that, and this is Robin. Her thing is that I don't have to go through my life thinking about my race like you do. I have been privileged to go to the best schools and have the best family support. And I know that you haven't. So I, have to make sure I make you feel comfortable because I own, the environment here. Okay, so that already right there is this oppressor mentality, right? That I don't buy into. Somebody told me that one time, like, I know I had a better upbringing than you. And I was like, well, what the hell make her think that? And I wasn't gonna explain myself to be like, no, I had parents. Like, I'm not doing that. I was like, lady, the conversation is over. What would ever make it like and she said, I grew up with both and this was a real person. This wasn't a bot. This was a discussion. No, it was an argument about voting for Trump and everything. And she said that, like, she's like, I know that I had a better education than you. I know that I had, family support. Mind you, she was like a university teacher or something who gave up her job. She said she gave up her job because she was giving up her white privilege for her students. You obviously didn't like what you do. And meanwhile, I'm a registered nurse. Like, what are you saying? What are you saying? But I'm not that type to be like, no, I did this. Because then now I give your baseless comment. I give it actual merit, and you don't deserve that. So these are the type of white people. So then she says, people of color need to get away from white people. And then these two dummies sit there and they smile. I'm not even mad at her though, because her book went, she's best selling, right? And these two dummies, they smiling. Nobody's checking her like, well, what you mean? Like, what do you mean? The other white girl, like, yeah, I'm glad you saying. So it's not her that I'm mad at. It's the dumb black folk who read this or who pay attention to her and will say like, yeah, she right, like who are so scared to stand up and say, well, what are you saying exactly? Matter of fact, Robin, what are you saying about everything? Right? That's why I miss me with your new found civil rights movement. Miss me with it all. All right. Okay. Moving along. Let's see. Hey, Bozette. Hey. So what I'm doing is I'm like taping all my segments live. and then I'll go back and I'll edit them later, because if I just feel like I can be more focused doing it like this. So that's what I'm doing. So so thank you. Listen, and if you come through, just hit the like button if you want to. If you don't want to, that's okay. But please hit the like button. All right, let's see. What else do I have? I have like a whole list of things to go back to my bookmarks. I just want to see what this is about.
Wrong scenario. Wrong scenario.
Redeem ourselves
No,
every
but
single
Law,
time.
this is a great conversation. Wrong scenario. Wrong scenario. This doesn't
I
have
don't
anything
think
to do
so.
with this. What you
I'm
don't
just-
know?
I'm
You don't
so
know. Wait a minute, because I let you talk.
Ooh.
You don't know Revlon's life. We don't know what they've been through. One fight and one person's struggle does not trump another. And I love Machiavelli, but the storyline for me has run stale. That's not fair to the
I don't
competition.
get that.
Law, you're just so tired. It has nothing to do with the love I have for y'all. And in the words of my late great hit, keep it moving.
You ate that. Redeem ourselves
No, but
every single
Law,
time.
this is a great conversation. Wrong scenario. Wrong scenario. This doesn't
I
have
don't think
anything to do
so.
with this. What you
I'm
don't
just-
know?
I'm
You don't
so
know.
sick-
Wait a minute, because I let you talk. You don't know
Let me
Revlon's
replay. I want
life.
y'all to
We
just
don't
do
know what they've
something.
been through. One
There they go, right here. Okay, so Scott, like what the fuck? God damn, man. I think they're ever found somebody to marry, because the world is just too much. Like, what is going on? Like, all the men are becoming gay. Like, what is this? This is a bunch of men. Okay, this is a bunch of men. This is what black men are doing now. Kooks, really, because I reserve that the label of man for actual men, and they love this. They have to. Men are under attack, so it's two different ways they do it, right? If you have a white heterosexual male, they tell you he's a domestic terrorist, okay, and that he's an oppressor and that he's the patriarchy. If you have a black heterosexual man, they tell you he's toxic and a man, not man. They tell you he's toxic and dangerous, and he must be feminized immediately. It is sick. Matter of fact, so since I'm already starting with that one, like it's just too much to keep up with y'all. It just is. You see what I go through? Okay, hold on. Oh God, I just started taping. Yes.
Citing the source material. Yeah, I just feel like there's such a long rooted.
Okay, hold up. I want y'all to see something. Now, this is men, right? And hold on.
Citing the source.
This guy has a bunch of baby faces all over his clothes. What is that about? Like, what is that about? Like, that's a symbol for something.
Material. Yeah, I just feel like there's such a long rooted history in appropriation from Black culture. Like, for instance, like when I go to the Metropolitan Museum and I see things that they've taken from Africa, I see things that they've taken from Nubia, and then you go and you and then you go and you look at these pillars, and then there's this white man, Samuel something 1800, going and saying, I'm putting my ownership on something that was never mine to begin with. And then they go, I discovered it. So then it gives me this ownership, like I can take it and it can be mine. And I feel like it's that entitlement that is one thing that we really need to discuss. Like there is a way I feel to very much so appreciate somebody's culture, but so many times, like Bob says, there are times where, they cite the source, but they don't. Citing the source.
So here's the thing.
Material. Yeah, I just feel like.
So what you got here is 5 black men dressed as women talking about cultural appropriation when he's also talking about museums. Okay, so now museums are a problem, Now, so feminizing the black man, and this is now okay. And the mainstream blacks aren't going to do anything about this because the Marxism it's here. Like they capitulate to this. They love it, you know. So people black people have sold out their cult. They have no culture. They have no culture. Yeah. How is this culture? Black is not culture. No, there was a Negro culture, but the mainstream black culture, no, that's this for people to see, there's no culture. Okay. Of course, I'm not talking about all black people. Of course, I know wonderful black people whose family, God, business minded, you know. Yeah. But that's not what mainstream wants you to see. So these people sell out the culture to sit there and look like fools, look like caricatures of black people, right? And look at I want hold up because like I know I sit with I just want y'all to see something real quick. Like, why y'all legs? Yeah, because you're a man. This is uncomfortable for you. You don't even know how to cross. Look just wide like that. Like, come on, you know. Now, why will black folk like this jump to this narrative? And will appreciate Marxism is because when they wiggle white people in front of them, it makes them act hysterical. Okay, that's what it does, and it makes them act stupid. They lose all thinking and control. It's like the white man. I gotta get these type of people. These Marxists, they are so obsessed with white people. They are that they'll say, okay, so this is how the Marxist does it. The Marxist says that the white heterosexual male is the patriarchy, right? The oppressor who's been oppressing everybody, whether it be women, black people, trans and all that, you know, and they're the oppressor. So they're the bad guy. So black folk like this, they will go and align with any team because we got to get the man. We got to get the man. So now you're just sitting there dressed up as women. You're not a woman, be clear. Looking like clowns, and even just this hairstyle alone is a freaking clown show. But you don't feel like awkward or droll because you're fighting the man. You look like a clown, but they have you on camera looking like a clown, and it's okay because everybody's fighting the white man. And so you know it's like, who really is the problem here? It's the person who thinks that they're fighting the white man this way. You have made him a god in your mind, that you will act this hysterical. This is hysteria to me. To go outside of your natural way to fight the man. Huh? Wow. We are a lost bunch of people. Just, damn, they did a good job, though. They did. They definitely did a good job, though. Man, my God. And again, and that's why, and now also you go see black people definitely cling to this trans stuff or pushing this cross-dressing narrative because, as usual, your fight has been taken over by another movement. What is, and you know, but the question is like, what is woke? Well, woke used to be like, oh, I know the government is after me. I'm not messing around. Woke. I don't use that word anymore. What is woke? Woke is anything trans, you know, and so they still have to be woke. So now you're trying to catch up with the trans movement, but they were catapulted on your back. Black Lives Matter made sure to do that. It was supposed to be Black Lives Matter, but then they were sharing their money with trans everything. But remember, they told you they weren't protecting the black man. So it's all destruction of any foundation. Remember, their mission statement told you that they go against the nuclear family. Well, the Marxists would. You can't have a nuclear family when you're trying to brainwash people. I call it out. I call it out. Wake up. Whew, y'all. Whoa. Oh. Man, I don't even know what the story is. So, all right, we're taking like a little break. Hold on, y'all. Sorry. So yeah, I have moved on traditions over to the guys. I don't know who's all watching, but maybe you'll come back and see that I am answering the question. I showed my girl this video. She was also discussing about these guys talking about cultural appropriation. Yeah, they want to find cultural appropriation so bad that now they talking about the museums are a problem. It's a museum. That shit, it's been here for so long. I might curse a little bit on the break, okay? But it's been here for so long, like, but it's okay that they, you know, back in the day, somebody'd be like, wait, why do they have to be cross-dressed? And it's, wait, what's going on? No, they're talking against white people, so it's okay that they look like clowns. They look like sad, like they look like degenerates of their community. Because yeah, that's degenerate to me. Absolutely. And this is how I look at it. Yeah. And but it's okay because we're gonna fight the man. We're white people bad. While I'm committing all kinds of sick acts. White people bad. All right, y'all. Let's see what else is on the agenda. Let me stop sharing for a second. I'm going back to Wednesday night again. Yeah, man, I need you to, because like I need to, like, I like watching you on Wednesday night. So I'm gonna be going back on Thursday night again, but I think it's gonna start in April. Y'all, I'm doing hair and makeup on the side. I think it's gonna start in April because I just have to get a couple things like cleared up with work and everything before that. Somebody make me rich, and then I could do this with y'all all day. But so yeah, I got to get that under control though, and I'm gonna get some people lined up to chat with on Thursdays. I just got to get a couple things under control. But yeah, definitely always enjoyed the Wednesdays. You know, I used to even sneak watch when I was at work, so definitely do that traditions. All right, let me see what I got. All right. Ooh, child. This one we're gonna make it this one's gonna be a short. We're gonna make it a short because this one's gonna be short. So I'm literally just gonna read something. Matter of fact, this is how we're gonna start it. We're gonna hold on. So we're gonna make it a short, and then we must share mode and not can. What? Okay. We're gonna make it a short. So let me start it here. So everybody's asking what woke is, and I have the perfect explanation. It's going to take me less than 60 seconds to give you that explanation. All right. So now we're going to behind the scenes, y'all. This is how we do it behind the scenes. Edit is a beautiful thing. But this time I'm going to not share my face with it just for this one, so they could see. Woke, explained by Darwin. At some stage, the human species will divide, whilst most will continue to evolve. A minority of those lacking the intellectual capacity of thought will develop as a subspecies, being easily led, form into packs, attempting to control the majority. They will deny biology, attempt to undo the centuries of human development by rewriting history, and gradually revert to their primate origins. They will expect all to conform to their point of view without question. That is woke, explained by Darwin. Darwin was an atheist. He didn't even believe in God, but I do believe in his later days in life. I do believe that Charles Darwin started to believe in God towards the end, because he probably saw how man needed God in order not to be the worst versions of themselves. I'm not talking about religion. I'm talking about God. All right. All right. We're going to stop sharing, and then we'll go back here. So, all right, we did that one. All right. Now, let's see. I'm going to say end broadcast. Let me go back to Twitter. Let's see what else we got on the bookmarks. It's just, I could go on all day, but all right. I'm looking up stuff about the central bank. The banks are coming together, y'all. All right, we're going to do the I Am Jazz. That's going to be the last thing we do because that's just going to take too long. All right, let me go look at my list. Oh, yeah, definitely got to do the Fauci. So Fauci going to be next. I'm going to do this clip here. So let's write it down, right? So, of course, where is it? Oh yeah, I can't see my screen. The French are doing what we need to be doing. They're getting their protests on for real reasons. Macron is a freaking he's lost his mind. He's insane. He's a dictator, and It is insane. But what he's doing there, but I have to do a video about that too. So all right, let me see. Fauci. I was gonna do spring break, but traditions, you might want to do spring break. Traditions, you might want to do spring break because that one, if you're still watching, spring break looked like it was crazy in Miami. I'm gonna be too mean if I do spring break, so I'm not. I'm definitely gonna do jazz. I'm gonna do Trump. It's gonna take a while. Hold on. Sorry. I forgot I'm not sharing. Hold on. Yo, man, that spring break was ridiculous, yo. For real. Like, I was like, yo, what is going on?
Skin or the waves in my hair. It's like literally, this is just something that is, right? So at this point,
So I'm gonna make a video with Rob Smith talking about the LGBTQ and how it has become a hyper woke far left. So all right. Yo, man, that spring break was not even cool, dog. Like they was there. Yeah. He died a few weeks before they declared the scheme of the century, the pandemic. Yeah, this is the guy who made the PCR test, and he says that it only just detects like DNA fragments. He couldn't stand Fauci. He thought Fauci was like the biggest liar, and because he is the biggest liar. Hold on. I'm gonna be on for a little while. So like if y'all just come through, hit the like button. Sorry. I am gonna do the French. We already talked about that. I'm gonna do this video with Bezmenov, something that everybody's seen, but why not? You know, it's good when the history reminds you of the dumb stuff that you're doing. So I got this Fauci clip so many times because it absolutely infuriates the shit out of me. It really does. The Autobots have arrived. Did y'all see this clip? The like seriously looks out of the Autobots. I was thinking of the song like, dun, 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 dun. Like, and you know you just gotta laugh. It's like what the freak is in our space, like our airspace? Like what is in our? Is that some sort of man-made alien something? Or I don't believe in aliens. I don't. But or is that like a new technique with the military? Like what's going on? I definitely don't believe in aliens. So even if an alien landed and y'all, you know, everybody has a right to their beliefs. If an alien landed and said, I'm an alien, I would say, no, you're a demon. I'm dead serious. Yeah, I am. Yeah, I am. All right. So that jazz one at the end, boy, that one's going to be not a long one, but I got to put that together, right? I think that we might be all right. Because the central banks, well, real quick, they're doing a swap line. So CBDC is on its way. Okay, CBDC is on its way. So what they're doing is, hold on. Might as well just go ahead and get in it.
Hi guys, David Clues here. I hope you're all well. So look, the system crashed in 2008 and it was knackered then, but the central banks printed trillions upon trillions to prop it up. Then, of course, 2000, a mysterious virus came about in Wuhan, and then we had, I say that with forked tongue, we then get trillions more printed, okay? Then inflation starts. Now, the banks, the central banks, the Federal Reserve, the Bank of England said interest rates are going to stay low. Federal Reserve said we're not thinking about raising rates until 2023. So all these banks that went belly up were really just following the advice of the Federal Reserve, who lied. And now inflation's the big thing. But look, this, and I'm not an oracle here. I just listen to people brighter than me, okay? This is what's going to happen. These banks are going to keep failing. They're going to keep creaking. They can't survive at interest rates at the levels we're at. The country can't survive. And then what's going to happen is they'll fail. And then the governments will come and say, well, see, look, commercial banks, you can't trust them. Who needs choice? Why don't we all just have a bank account with the government? And it'll be the central bank and it'll never run out of money. And we'll give you this brand fancy new digital currency. So, look, there's some people are saying it's all down to incompetence. Of course, there's a lot of incompetence going on here, but that can't excuse it all. It's all part of the plan. Banks are going to fail. Central banks are going to come in. They're going to bring in CBDCs. Unless something happens. We say no. Maybe the big banks will say no. But we need to fight back against it. And then if they do bring them in, just not use them. Use our own currencies. Speak to you later. Bye-bye. Hi, guys.
Absolutely true, everything he just said there. So hold on. And I'm going to hold on. Let's see. I'm not going to do a full. He's probably saying the same thing. But the thing is, here we go. Federal Reserve, the Fed and the central banks of the UK, Canada, Japan, the ECB, I don't know where that is, and Switzerland announced a coordinated action to improve liquidity provision through the standing US dollar liquidity swap line. So I kept trying to look. I'm like, what the hell does that mean? So what it does is, all right, they're announcing a coordinated action to enhance the swap lines, to improve the swap lines' effectiveness, providing the U.S. dollar funding. The central banks currently offering U.S. dollar operations have agreed to increase the frequency of 7-day maturity operations from weekly to daily. These daily operations will commence on Monday and continue at least through end of April. This is all, you know what I mean? Like what this is it's like they're trying it out. They're trying the Fed now, the CBDC. Okay. I talk about, yo, man, I checked that out. So I'm cutting off the thing. So, what's up, Cobra? He's popping on the chat. It definitely always is. Like, no, thank you. I'll send you the link. They didn't take it down. It was a great interview. Yeah, I have the link. I just didn't finish watching it. Matter of fact, I'm going to put it on while I'm editing. I'm going to put it on my phone. Thank you for reminding me about that. In fact, let me we have here. Let me stop sharing so y'all can see my pretty face. Yay, back again. So we have here, okay. And it's like you're trying to like keep up with things, you know, because back in the 90s, definitely early 2000s, I just had the money in the bank and I didn't question things. I just was living, you know, I was living. And then after 2020, it was like, you need to learn everything. You need to know about everything. You need to know how they grow the vegetables. You need to know how they get the money. You need to know how they print the, like, it's like, dog, like, okay, I have to learn about infrastructure. I have to learn about airplanes. I have to learn about, okay, fine. I'll learn. Okay. So now we learn. So what's happening here, and we'll look for the FedNow website to see exactly what it looks like. But what's going on is, so now you're hearing these banks collapse. The Swiss bank in Switzerland, all of them, they're collapsing. What's funny to me, it seems like it's the banks that are part of the Western civilization that's collapsing. So now they're saying that we're going to bring these banks a little bit together real quick, just so the money can flow through faster for the deposits. That is centralizing world banks. Okay, that really is what that ends up being boiled down to. That's what they're describing. Excuse me, that's scary. Okay, now, what also, when you saw that SVB collapsed and the government said, we're going to just hurry up and, we'll back them up. They effectively nationalized that bank because while we're backing you up, we're putting our people in there. And that's why you have a Sleepy Joe who said, we're going to fire the managers. Okay. The managers don't care. They knew the plan. They started selling their stuff already before this happened. It's all for the show. Okay. We're going to fire the managers. Okay. Right. And then, so when that happens, it's like now the government is backing that bank. So if that continues to happen, you effectively are going around whatever constitution, whatever, and you are nationalizing banks. And then you'll just tell people like, you know what, guys, why are we wasting our time? We have a wonderful website if you want to go check it out. I spoke about FedNow on this channel before, but let's see if we can find it, okay? Not find it, but let me see what they got going on with FedNow. Hold on, let me open up a new tab first. And that's what I mean. It's like you have to learn everything, yo. Like you just these people have made it where I now I gotta know about it all happening. And it's like you have to learn it fast. But you know what? Before I even start looking for FedNow, let me say this. That does feel overwhelming, right? But look at what we're doing on the chat. Look at what Broken Traditions has said. I'm gonna send you the link to the interview. You know, you're going to find some resources there, and we're talking about this stuff, right, guys? And we're learning and we're being aware, and then we can spread it out and let other people know what's really going on. But we have people that we're meeting and we're connecting with during all of this destruction that's taking place. We're connecting with people, and we're finding that there are still good people out here, and we'll grow. We'll like, it's like the snowball effect. It'll work, you know, even if we don't agree on everything, but we still have the eyes to pull the veil out, see it for what it is, and say, let's try to find solutions. And that is what you're going to need when it comes about, when this stuff comes about. We'll talk about that at the end of this segment. All right, let's go to the new tab and see what we got going on with FedNow. Use them under pressure. Oh, the I'm not having. Nope. No. Fed now. Go. Let me see. Is it already open? I'm almost afraid to go into. There we go. Federal Reserve. .org. There we go. Find Solution Central Bank Financial Services. Right now, what it is doing is it's like, you know, hey, let's give you some advice, and it's a prototype. Is it even a prototype? Application sign-in. Well, what's that? Fedline Web. Effective October 3rd, 2021. Federal Reserve Bank no longer supports Internet Explorer. Okay, so they said I can't get on. Please ensure that you're using Google Chrome. I'd have to go through my Google Chrome. Oh, that's so annoying, y'all. All right, hold on. Let me see. Let me do that then. Let me stop sharing, because I do want to kind of play around with this a little bit. I have some nerve, let me tell you. For some reason, like I'm scared of it too. Not scared of it, because that sounds crazy, right? But just kind of like like, damn it, they know I'm in here. But as if they don't already know, like as if I'm not always on, you know, online talking some trash or something. As if they don't have enough that they could say about me for me to know. Not right now. As if I haven't given them enough ammunition, or you must use Google Chrome so we can track it. Yeah, like more of it to absolutely, I know. But it's like at this point, I'm like, they got all the tapes there. I got a whole YouTube channel. Like, so sometimes I'm like, just it is what it is. What are you gonna do? I'm trying to see though if it'll because it's saying my Microsoft web. Oh shoot, I gotta go through my window. Hold on, because this is different. I've not done this before. Okay, I think I can handle it. I think, by George, I think we've got it. I think we're sharing. All right, let's. All right, we are in, y'all. We are in. All right, let's see. Let's see what application sign-in is. All kinds of cookies is happening. Ooh, bastards. It won't let. That's odd. Warning, if you're not authorized to use this private network, please disconnect me. All right, fine. Fine, guys. Fine. Oh, shit. I think it's still a prototype or something. I don't know why I can't get to Treasury services. Collateral, the Federal Reserve Banks administer collateral pledged by financial institutions, saving bonds. Okay, so anyway, you know, they won't let me, they won't let me do too much on here. Cash, what is this? ACH, cash services, Fed Cash. Use the links below to access forms and agreements you will need to set up Federal Reserve financial services. Yeah, so this is where you would use these links to set up like y'all, I'm tripping. It's like, no. Uh, you would set up your bank account, basically. All right. That's what you're doing here. You're setting up your bank account with these people. Select the service you are requesting to be added or canceled. If you request currency deposits or coin deposits, you must also obtain access to FedLine Web or FedMail in order to receive differences electronically. All right, so we know this thing exists. That's the whole point, is that we know that what's up, Ray? I am going to connect with you. Okay, I was just telling Traditions that I'm gonna start going back, like doing my Thursdays lives starting in April. It's like been other stuff that I've been trying to get under control with work and everything, but I'm coming back. I'm coming back. But yeah, and if everybody, whoever comes through, please hit the like button. I am taping my segments and over in front of a live studio audience. So I was like, let me just hit the live button and just tape it this way. So what we've done, so we went to the site and we looked. FedNow is real. It's real. Okay. And what this is all right. So the banks, right? So like I said, we didn't ask questions. You just got your direct deposit and you knew you had your money and it was time to go shopping or go to the movies, right? So so what we didn't know is that these banks do this thing where they are backed by treasuries, government bonds and funds, and they might not have enough money to have your money in the bank. Now, I'm not telling anybody to go do a bank run, but I'm just saying the dynamic of how the infrastructure of bank and how it works. I don't know everything about it. So if anybody knows an economist that wants to one day come on and talk to me, please send them my way. Okay. But I know that these banks are backed by Federal Reserve, like bonds and treasury money. So they've been doing that. So they're going to show you that banks are collapsing, banks are collapsing, banks are collapsing. And then the government's just going to say, you know what, guys, why are you even wasting time with a third party? You're going to pay fees. You're going to have problems. You don't know if your money's going to be in the bank. Hey, listen, just come straight to the government. We got it right here. FedNow. You could access your money the same way how you've been doing it anyway. What's the difference? You've been paying stuff digitally through your phone, and guess what? You don't have to, even better, you don't have to wait for it to pend, to come out. It's pending to come out of your account. It comes out automatically. And listen, hey, we could back some of those overdraft fees for you. We don't have to worry about fees. Then maybe you overdrafted. We'll pay that. We'll wait for your next paycheck to come in. That's not a problem. It sounds good, right? You only have one card. We could link everything. Matter of fact, we could link everything to FedNow. Why don't we link your IDs to FedNow too? Why don't we do that too? Now you got one account. Listen, hey, one password, one account. You got your passport on here. We got your license on here. We got your money here, social security number, everything. So now instead of you always having to have a bunch of stuff in your pockets or remembering your passwords that you just change every 6 months, you don't have to change with us. Keep one password. That's your password. Isn't it easy? And you don't have to worry about not making the payments on time. We'll take care of that. Come. We're the government and we're here to help. And you better run the other way. Okay? Because when that happens, what they're effectively saying is like, look, they get even better. You can put your medical records here too. Yeah, no, that's only for you to see. Yeah, your friends they're not going to see. Only you can see that. And this is the government, so we can't be hacked. Okay? But some simp will believe that. Yeah, that's for you to see. Huh. Casey, looks like you're not up on your flu shot. What's going on? You're not going to take that? Your mortgage is supposed to come out next week. Be ashamed if it wasn't in there. Okay? These people are not here to, please. Okay? They're not here to play. And the reason why I know, so this is something I know is happening. And every time I see banks collapse, it almost in a not a weird way, but like in a, this is why people call like religious people like, oh, you're crazy. It almost excites me a little bit. Because it lets me know that the Bible is real. like how did they know we would not be able to buy or sell if we did not pick the state over church, over God? how does Revelations? It's right there. It's right there. Wow. That is, it sends shivers down your back. Like it's amazing. It's beautiful. And it gives me the strength to know, like, yo, you need to get prepared because the time is coming. And 7 Days Adventists believe is, just to be, like y'all getting to know me. 7 Days Adventists believe about Sunday rule. And sadly, I'm not here to judge anybody, but when it comes to the 10 Commandments, the biggest lie right now that has taken place to people is that Sunday is the Sabbath. But these pastors and preachers know that Sunday is not the Sabbath. And the fourth commandment is very, very important. Very important because it is the day that God gave for you to rest and worship God. But it was changed to Sundays during the time of Constantine when he was doing compromise in Istanbul, Constantinople. They compromised with the people who were living there because they were trying to give Christianity, but they still wanted to add paganism into it. And so Sundays for the sun god. I did not, this isn't me. This is known. This is like known. We can look it up and find out. So 7 Days Adventists believe that one day we're going to be told, like, you can't worship on Saturdays. And if we catch you worshiping on Saturdays, like, you won't be able to buy or sell, which I'm fine with that. I'm like, because I don't want to be in your Fed now anyway. So this is why we have to learn how to, we got to start going back to being self-sustaining, but that's our belief, but it's a belief that has helped me open up my eyes to a lot of what's going on. I'm starting to think crypto is a scam. More and more people are investing in them. Absolutely. I made a video about that too with the SSX, God, Jesus. What was it? Sam Bankman-Fried, SBF. That situation. Yeah, that collapse. I said, that's all done on purpose. Crypto is supposed to be not regulated. It was supposed to be money that, like, it's supposed to be a way of currency that is not regulated. So that you could basically be one step ahead of CBDCs, right? And then all of a sudden you see this huge collapse. And then what's the next thing that happens? Senator Warren, we need more regulations. Yeah, because the Fed wants to create Fed coin. And when the time comes, they'll outlaw all crypto except their own coin, and people will lose trillions. Absolutely. Absolutely. I want to invest in some sort of precious metals. I just get scared because, like, a lot of this stuff is still done digitally. Like, I want to know if there's a place that I could go and, like, exchange money for bars of gold. Like, how does that work? I don't know. I got to find out, because, again, in Joe Biden's administration, you have to know everything. You have to know everything. Amazing. All right. So that's that segment. I think I pretty much said everything I wanted to say about that. But these people, they are going to be in your pockets, man. But you said there's only man and woman. You said transhumanism isn't a thing. You said that's fake. Cut off the supply lines. Oh, that's right. Her ideas, everything. Shut her off. Shut her off now. You took the jab. Turn her off. All right. I do believe that, though. All right. It's a shame, right? It's crazy, isn't it? Like, it's a crazy world we live in, but it's all right. We're going to be all right. We're going to be fine. All right, let me see what else I got for y'all. We did that. All right, bet. Let me check out my list to see what was in the plan. I have to add this part too to the Fed Now back behind the scenes. Or maybe I should do this with the reparations thing. As a matter of fact, that's what I'm going to do. All right, so I will make the reparations video. All right, let's just go ahead and get into that. Okay, Black folk, y'all are going to get reparations, okay? And I want y'all to remember me when y'all get them, because, you're going to have a lot of American descendants of slavery, whatever. They're going to say, no, not for all Black people, because some of them, they're descendants of other places, and the fund should be given fine. All right, that's okay, okay? You don't have to give it to me, okay? I mean, they don't have to give me the reparations, but gosh darn, I know a lot of good Black folk, you know what I'm saying, who I consider family. Don't forget a sister, because the day you get your reparations, I need you to run to some sort of precious metal mine or something and exchange it for that immediately. Exchange it for wood if you have to, okay? Because what you need to understand is when they finally give you that reparations, that's the next day the dollar is going to collapse. Absolutely. Absolutely. Or okay. Maybe like a week later. Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Okay. I'm not against reparations. I'm not. That sounds weird, right? Because people would think like, oh, you're Republican, you're supposed to be. No, see, that's when y'all answer to the label. I don't answer to a label, I answer to the truth. And the truth is that Congress signed something back in 1868 saying that, free slaves were supposed to get they were supposed to get land and a mule. So, and it's a retro pay. Everybody keeps having these emotional arguments about, oh, because the white man didn't love us. Like, again, there y'all go back to that again. Like, I'm confused why that's always an issue. If you have a fiscal conversation and you say, because even Donald Trump said it, he said, anybody with a mind knows, anybody with a business mind knows that you had a lot of free labor. Okay. And so it has to be paid back. And so that's why the retro pay, just like it would go to the family members of the slave, right? So, because now that becomes part of the slave's estate. Well, we can't resurrect the slaves and give it to them. So the estate goes back to the family member. Okay, it goes to whoever next of kin or whatever like that. That's how it's supposed to be. And what you're supposed to really do is you take 40 acres and a mule. Now, some people did get their 40 acres and a mule. You are supposed to find out who got their 40 acres and a mule already. But then you go back and you look, okay, what would 40 acres and a mule amount to now? And then you give that amount. Okay. The only thing that becomes a weird, not weird, it becomes like an oxymoron is because it's your taxes that they're giving you back. So unless they would give Black descendants of slaves, maybe like a year off from paying taxes, depending on whatever, right? That's how it would go. And if they gave him like that time off from paying taxes, then you don't get the argument like, well, why should I pay you for your reparations, right? You just got a break. And again, it's retro pay. That's how it should be looked at. It is a fiscal argument. It's just simply that. So I can't sit here and say, oh, people shouldn't give reparations or they just want money. I can't say that. It's a fiscal argument. Now, when you start to make arguments that are retarded, I don't want to be a part of that. And so when you start to say, oh, but because they didn't love us and all this, whatever, like, oh, whoa, I'm not talking about that. All right. But fiscally. Okay. But San Francisco is losing their mind. So that's the thing. So now when they start talking like this, I'm like, okay, now y'all want to collapse the dollar. They do want to collapse the dollar. They want to collapse the dollar. Absolutely. They do. Because then we can go to the digital banking, right? All right. $5 million for every Black adult, even if they're not descendants of slavery. Cancellation of all debt, including student loans. Then $97,000 a year for life. Purchase a home for $1. Excuse me. God. See, behind the scenes, y'all don't know that I burp. So that's part of the plan. So it's like now the plan has become silly. But hold on. Mind you, in a whole financial collapse, that would absolutely collapse it. Everything would collapse after that. But hold on. The way how people argue this thing is even more, it's just like all you have to do is make a fiscal argument. That's all you have to do. Where's the damn thing at? No, that's not it. Oh my God. Oh, wait, yeah. All right. But then when you hear stuff like, all right, let me see. There's a lot of cursing on this thing.
I think that we should be receiving land, cash, economic equality, resources.
This is our legacy. We're going to stand on it. Y'all don't want to give it to us, we're going to take it.
I know who I am. I know who the white people are that purchased my family. I know who my indigenous nation is. I do not understand all of this animosity.
We shouldn't be paying taxes. Our ancestors were violently forced from West Africa to build this economy for free for over 200 years and then terrorized for 100.
I think that
and so it's like the way the argument is made. It's like y'all don't even say, I'm sick of my effing stomach right now. I wish the guy in the middle would come. He said, if we don't give it to him, he's gonna come and take it. come, he meant come take it, MF, and I'll bury you in the ground you're standing on. Okay, see, so there it is. So it's like when we start the, like, again, fiscal argument, guys, we don't have to tell people we're just going to come take, we're putting on a bunch of shows, we're putting on a bunch of shows, like, when we're all this, like, yeah, because, and if y'all ain't gonna give it to them, we gonna come take it. And so you think somebody's gonna say, "Oh, I understand exactly where you're coming." What are you talking about? You're not gonna come taking it. Then it's like we need to. Now I said the tax thing, maybe like you give a waiver, right? Okay, that's it. Like people are like, we don't want to pay taxes. We need money. We need this. We need that. It's like, yo, man, it's a fiscal argument. It is simply that. And so now you're going too far with it. You are out of emotions. I thought I'm half black and have ancestors who were slaves, but I'm not owed anything. I was never a slave, and my ancestors were freed. Nah, they really did sign something. So right, like it's not me. Like I like when I say that it comes, if they didn't sign, if Congress didn't sign something back in 1868 promising literally that 40 acres and a mule, then I would not be sitting here saying that there should be some sort of fiscal compensation that matches that. You know what I mean? But they already signed it. So y'all already signed it. Y'all owe this, so you are owed this. Like seriously, however it's divvied out. But I'm not saying, like, let's just start throwing out millions and doing like at one point, Umar was saying like, we're going to, we need to be in charge of all the ports and what's coming in and out of America. Dog, what are you talking about, man? You sound crazy. And I definitely don't want y'all in charge of the ports, because the type that act like you would be making mistakes left and right. But it's literally fiscal. Like, it's just, that's all it ever had to be. And that's what I'm saying. It's like when people start coming a certain, Obama wants what? To strip degree requirements for 6-figure jobs to address labor shortage. I hate them here. I do hate them here. I do. Okay. All right. How Obama even talking about anything? So I'm just trying to look it up, the contract. The Freedmen's Bureau Act of 1865. All right, hold on. You're not owned. Of course you're not owned. But again, if there is something that was signed, it has to be, it should be, seen through. It doesn't, it's like, it's not anything more than that, And again, like I said, I can make this argument and say that, believe me, I wouldn't get anything if they do it the right way. But everybody else goes on some other tangent with it. I think it's like retarded. All right, let's see. Like people, because what they did to us, I mean, not even that, like just, and the white supremacy that we're dealing with today. No, you don't get paid for not wanting to go to work. No. All right. So let's see. Hold on. Oh, fuck. Sorry. I really hate when stuff like that happens. On March, well, damn, it says and refugees. Now I'm starting to feel like it was me. Okay. And this may not be, and I'm going on a tangent, y'all. I am. Not a tangent. I'm kind of going on the fly here. On March 3rd, 1865, Congress passed an act to establish Bureau of Relief for Freedmen and Refugees to provide food, shelter, and clothing, medical services, and land to displaced Southerners, including newly freed African Americans. The Freedmen's Bureau was to operate during the President of War Rebellion for 1 year after. So, I mean, this probably could be argued too, but 1863, Representative T.D. Eliot of Massachusetts proposed a bill establishing a Bureau of Emancipation within the Department of War to provide protection and support to newly freed African Americans. Freedmen Aid Societies had been advocating for such an agency through memorials, petitions, and direct lobbying. The House spent 2 months debating the bill and finally passed it by 69-7. 67 vote, March 1st, 1864. The bill was then referred to as Senate Select Committee on Slavery and Freedom, chaired by Charles Sumner of Massachusetts. Senate bill focused on Which executive department will run the bureau? Okay. You know, it's like when you don't read something. Hold on, let me do something else. Here we go. All right. 40 acres and a mule was part of Special Field Orders number 15. Okay. All right. Proclaimed by Union General William Tuchman Sherman on January 16, 1805, during America's Civil War, to allot land to some freed families in plots of no larger than 40 acres. But what happened to it? So I might be wrong. The government didn't keep the promise. Okay. Following President Abraham Lincoln's assassination, President Andrew Johnson rescinded Field Order 15 and returned Confederate owners 400,000 acres of land, a strip coastline stretching from Charleston, South Carolina. So that's the thing. There is a history behind it, and I'm sure that people will sit here and go back and forth about it. But the fact is that it was so. The other act that I'm thinking of, I guess that wasn't quite it, but in the 1860s, they were trying to give something to these people. It's retro pay, and that's just simply what it is. So what would 40 acres and a mule amount to today? Let's look that up. What? Oh. I hate when they just, why can't they make it easy? Like, I don't feel like doing that kind of math. Oh, God. Everybody probably got off my live now like, oh my God, I didn't know she was a treasonous. All right, hold on a second. And divided by 40,000. 40,000. 16 shit. Well. I mean, that's the number, y'all. So that's what each family is supposed to get. So I don't know. So, damn. Well, I didn't make up the rules. I wasn't there back in 1865. So that is what it amounts to. You couldn't give reparations out to all Black people because there are many Black people who came to America. But that's the thing. Yeah, so that's why it wouldn't be all Black people. So that's why I keep saying, like, I would not get it because I wouldn't get it because I'm not descendant of America. I am Haitian. Like I'm American, but my ancestors are Haitian. So I wouldn't expect to get anything. And that's the practical way to look at these things, But I'm sure there are people who will complain. Or somebody said to me, like, well, what if my family is descendant of slave and I'm a white person, and then I get it or whatever, and people are gonna be mad. Well, that's too bad for them. It's descendants of slaves. So look, right? I feel like I don't know, man. I guess you would have to have some paperwork. Listen, I don't know. Okay. I do not know. I'm just saying in theory, that's how it is supposed to be. And when the person said that, when he said that to me, I was like, yeah, you will have a lot of people mad. Who cares? You have ancestry that is slaves. So then you get the retro pay that would go into their estate, go into the kin now, and now you get some too. Yeah. No, don't do DNA tests. That's stupid. So that's dumb to do a DNA test because some people say like, oh, they'll do DNA tests. No, but I don't know how you prove it, right? I do not know. But what I'm saying is that if you are a descendant, they promise you something now. They rescinded it. And what they'll say is we already wrote a contract rescinding it. So that's the argument against it. But I'm only looking at this in a fiscal measure. There would be people who had ancestors that were slaves but didn't have paperwork. Therefore, they wouldn't get reparations. So I know. And so that's why this whole thing becomes a whole argument. Like it becomes a discussion that it's hard to have because a lot of people probably can't prove that, right? And I don't know. I don't know, but I do know that it should. That's how it should be done. That's the ethical way that it would be done. And I'm talking about something ethical that I don't, like I said, I have no dog in the race. But I think that the contract, I think it definitely should. I mean, come on. Like, imagine you went to work for however many years, and you didn't get paid. Irish people have a right to find out about that too, because they were Irish slaves. Yeah. So we need to have a discussion, a real discussion. This isn't just like people say, oh, just for black people. Nah, slaves. And there were Irish slaves. So, but if people came together, they could actually get that done, right? But that would never happen. You would never see black people and Irish people. Because those people you just seen in that conference or whatever, they would never come together and say, let's go find some Irish people who are descendants of slaves, because they were slaves, okay? And say that we need to work with them to get reparations. That would be smart. They're not going to do it. So that's why it's never going to happen. But if they decide to just start throwing out money, you better believe that the dollar is about to collapse tomorrow. So I suggest you go ahead and you trade it in for some lumber, for some concrete, for some precious metals or something. Okay. And so I keep saying, I think it's going to happen because they want to collapse the dollar. They want to collapse the dollar. And they're watching, what's his name? MBS, Saudi Arabia, and Iran come together. And Saudi Arabia is already saying, like, we're going to start exchanging oil in different currencies. That already starts the steps. So it's all about where the focus is. All right. So, I mean, thank you for everybody who made it through that segment. I am going to put that on my channel. I am. It's the reality, but this is the way that I presented that to you. Nobody ever, they won't. Like, these people who are so ruled by their Marxism, they won't present it like that. For them, it's like, I have to come take what you have. And so I don't appreciate that at any point, at any point. That's my stuff. Like, you're not gonna come take what I have, So again, and when they give this money out, it's like people are going to be paying it to who? Like, I'm going to be paying it. I don't know, guys. Guys, I tackled the tough discussions here. Now, I'm going to put that on this. I tackled the tough discussions here in a practical manner, All right, guys. We'll leave that one alone then, because I think everybody left. They was like, no, she's a traitor. It's like, let me stop. All right, hold on. Whew, we're getting a headache. It's time for, damn it, I ain't put that food up. All right, hold on. Let me look at my little listing to see what I'm supposed to be. Coffee is racist now. Black gay sons get 5 peg. France protest Fauci being racist. So we still got to do Fauci. Oh, okay, I did do that. Okay, I did do that. All right. So it looks like we're doing, what the heck? So we do the coffee, and we are gonna do Fauci. All right. Let's get into this. Now, everybody left me? Yeah, they did. The girls talking too much. Say no, all right. Let me see. Oh, yeah. I'm glad I'm doing this early, getting it out the way, though. I'm going to be editing a lot. All right.
am Eloise. I am 6. I'm a city child. I live at the Plaza Hotel, which is huge and wonderful and très elegant, especially at Christmas time.
Try to see that again.
I am Eloise. I am 6. I'm a city child. I live at the Plaza Hotel, which is huge and wonderful and très elegant, especially at Christmas time.
Name and preferred pronoun. A friendly reminder to all the cis out there, just because it's called preferred name and preferred pronoun, that does not make it optional. And if you have trouble accepting that, then maybe instead you can accept my size 13 steel toe on your trachea. We could start there if you prefer. A friendly
All right, I think we got them all. TV. So we need to talk about a pattern that is happening that's obvious. Okay. Now, when I talk about CRT, like with people, I always come at it from the angle of a Black person. Like, I don't want my child learning that they were oppressed, but also let me remind you, I don't want a white child learning that they're automatically racist and evil simply because they're white. We should not be teaching children that. We should not be teaching in a manner that teaches children that. And if people don't think that this is happening, there's books where people have read things about, there's books that have been shared about this stuff, so we'll look at that. But what we have going on is that there are now a lot of white kids coming out and trying to transition. So somebody asked a question about this, and I thought a response that was given by a white trans person who's older, like an older person, the response that was given was very good. Like, it was right on point. I haven't been sharing too much now, have I? I'm off this other. Oh, that's funny. Yes. So Kimberly Klasick had asked, why aren't the kids in the hood transitioning to the opposite sex? I know the answer. I just want to see if you knew. Comment below. Sarah Higdon said, well, because the typical demographic is upper middle class white kids of progressive parents for 2 reasons. They have time and money to worry about such things and have been conditioned to believe through critical theory that they are an oppressor, and there's no way they can ever escape that status. So they see this as a way to join an oppressed class for which they are celebrated for instead of condemned. It's the relationship between CRT and queer theory, and that's exactly true. Like, Sarah hit it, right on the money. It's true. And that's not cool. That's not right. So a lot of these kids, unfortunately, are going out on a limb and saying that they're trans and all this confusion, because part of it, and it's not the whole thing, but part of it is that they don't want to be looked at as the bad guy in the situation. That's what it is. So they would rather cling to anything. And so this is why we have to call all of this stuff out. So this is why I'll speak against that type of like anti-whiteism and stuff. But like, I will always speak out against that, because I don't want a generation of kids thinking that they have some sort of sin to atone for. No, they don't. The sin of the father will not be paid by the son. Like, no, the son will not pay for the sin of the father. So like, absolutely not. Like, none of us, no, that does not work. And so these kids are having this warped thinking of, well, maybe if I say that I'm part of a different class, then I'll be okay. No, we need people to run this country. Okay, so we need people to be confident in who they are so that they can get the skills they need to run this country. That's what I'm saying. So all of that, no, not even just no. It's like, it's not right. No child should feel like that. And that's only part of it. Because if they do get that feeling, then they have the borderline mother who is now like, oh my God, I get to enact in Munchausen by proxy, and I can go ahead and start, destroying my child. And for attention, this works both ways for both of us, because I don't have nothing else to do. And it's sick what happens. But I have another video going to talk about that. But, like I said, white people, no, like white kids, white people, if you're watching this, share this with your child, please. If somehow some kid who's going through this and you think that's their issue, tell them they should be proud to be white. There's nothing wrong with that. White power, why not? Just go ahead and say it. Why not? Because when we say black power, nobody gets mad and nobody gets scared, and it's called free speech. Say white power. Go ahead and say it. Be proud of whatever you are. But you're Irish, white, and whatever, Italian, all of that. You're not oppressing anybody by being confident in who you are. And if somebody feels smaller in front of you because they see that you're confident and they feel like your confidence is dulling them or putting them in the shadow, that's their own insecurities that they need to work on. You do not have to pick up any other ideology just so that you're not the oppressor. The word oppressor now is really allotted to anybody. They'll call me that because I'm an individual who has my own thoughts and beliefs, and who's not afraid to share it and who's not afraid to speak on it, who's confident in her existence in this world. I believe in God. That should have been number one, right? So they'll say that I'm an oppressor. Well, yeah, I've actually been told, I guess I'm an oppressor of the trans community because I'm a natural born woman, right? I don't care. I don't care. I think it's actually funny that you would look at me as something like that because you're so insecure. That's how it has to be harsh sometimes. It has to be harsh sometimes. It has to be, because or else we're going to get a society of kids who are lost because out of shame for something that they should not be ashamed of. They don't have anything to do with it. Going back to that guy, Dylan Mulvaney, real quick. And that's another thing. Everybody says, you know what? Let me hold on a sec. Yeah. This guy, he tweets all day. It's going to take me forever to find. All right, hopefully. All right, bet. All right, Matt Walsh says, it's very important that we aren't mean to this grown adult man pretending to be a little girl and raising more red flags than can possibly be counted. Exactly. Everybody got so mad at Matt Walsh for stating the obvious. I'm glad he did when he was like, oh, you're a weird person in limbo. A person who's doing this stuff is weird in limbo. It simply is what it is. He's just stating the obvious. It's the same way when I talk about crime and people will say, oh, you keep talking about black people. And I'm like, you're making that connection. I'm not. But it is what it is. The stats, whatever, it just simply is what it is. I'm going to still talk about it. So that's how we need to approach this stuff. And for him to be prancing around acting like he's a little girl, they are trying to groom y'all kids and you're worried about mean words. This is how we got to this position in the first place too, by the way. Mean tweets. All right. Okay. I guess everybody just really let me see something. Hold on. Because I know damn well. Yeah. I don't care. Say no. Oh, they hit like. That's good. I'm gonna hit like too. Thank you guys for everybody coming through who hit like. All right, so We did that. I'm gonna be done by 5:40, no later than that, because I'm getting tired of talking. My mouth is. All right, everything is coming through from Twitter. I'm gonna have to get pictures, all this. Y'all, it is a job. All right, go back to my bookmarks. Your book. Let me see what my notifications are saying. Another busy week. Okay, everybody's still liking that one. Nobody saw the other thing. All right, let's go ahead and do Fauci. Fauci being a whole nut.
Smoldering in the country. It's so crazy. I mean,
wait, no.
If you were to get infected, you could pass it on to them. So you're actually protecting your family by getting vaccinated.
Well, I heard that it doesn't cure it and it doesn't stop you from getting it.
No.
So
on the very, very, very rare chance that you do get it, even if you're vaccinated, it's you don't even feel sick. It's like you don't even know you got infected. It's very, very good at protecting you.
Just the Anacostia, so get up there. Okay.
All right, see you later.
Thank you. Have a good day.
The people in America are not.
This guy is a liar. Right now, Fauci's committing some sort of racism here because why are you in the hood lying to people about this shot? Like on the very, very rare, it is nothing very rare about it. You know, at my job, when I test people and they come up positive, I'm like, when were you last vaccinated? Last week, 2 days ago, 3. Yeah, okay. And so now first of all, how do they know who hasn't gotten it? How did you guys show up to people's door? So let's see what else interactions he was having. Let's see the other interactions he was having. Before I get to this guy, because he is pretty good, let me see what they were saying about the red states and smoldering. Yeah, I gotta get something to drink. Like, drop the joint on. All right.
What are we gonna do about those other states?
oh my God, they're going to keep the outbreak smoldering in the country. It's so crazy. I mean, they're not doing it because they say they don't want to do it. They're Republicans. They don't like to be told what to do. And we got to break that, unpack that.
How you guys doing with vaccine?
And then he, of course, has Muriel with him, a black woman. So how you guys doing with vaccines? She already talking hood so they can feel connected. And what is he talking about? They're Republicans. They don't like being told what to do. We need to break that. Okay, but let's go find another Republican that feels some type of way about what he's trying to say. Hold on.
The people in America are not settled with the information that's been given to us right now. So I'm not going to be lining up taking a shot or a vaccination for something that wasn't clear in the first place. And then you all create a shot in miraculous time. It takes years to create vaccination.
Well, it used to take years.
Okay, it used to.
You know how many years were invested in this approach? About 20 years of science to get us to be able to do it.
He's absolutely right. I have to say Fauci is not lying there. Now, I don't want to assume that man is not a Republican, but I'll tell you this. He's not the Republican that, if he is a Republican, Fauci's talking about a different kind of Republican. Okay, I air quoted. You guys can't see me. Fauci thinks that he could go in the hood and just tell people any lie and that they're just going to listen to him because he's science, right? No. People don't want this thing. Y'all still doing this? Y'all are still doing this. And meanwhile, he's right. He said there's been 20 years to this approach. Absolutely. Absolutely. Because 20 years, right? And then in the last, 17 of those years, I believe, they couldn't get it approved because all the ferrets kept dying, all the macaque monkeys kept dying, the animals kept dying, or they had to be euthanized because that's how bad the reactions were. They couldn't get it approved. By the way, it's still not approved. Comirnaty's approved, but that is not what's the solution that's being given out to people. And go ahead and fact check me, YouTube, because that's true. Okay? Because I give the shot. Do you? No. Okay. Because I know what's going to happen with this live now. All this hard work I just did, they're going to bust this whole thing out.
No. And 9 months is definitely not enough for nobody to be taking no vaccination that you all came up with.
The only reason I'm talking to you right now, as close as we are, is that I've been vaccinated.
Right.
But if it allows thousands of people like you don't get vaccinated, you're going to let this virus continue to percolate in this country and in this world.
Something like the
So first of all, all right.
common flu then, right?
And not
It's
like
much
the
more
common
serious than the flu.
Well, the flu kills a lot of people annually too.
You know how many people died of the flu the last year? I mean, not this year, virtually none, but the previous year, about 20 to 30,000. You know how many people have died from COVID-19 in the United States? 600,000 Americans.
Well, the number that you all giving that died, that's once again, that's you all's number.
You gonna pass?
Yeah, definitely.
All
Because when you start talking about paying people to get vaccinated, when you start talking about incentivizing things to get people vaccinated, there's something else going on with that. Something else going on.
It is something going on.
There's something else.
You're right. But I'm glad millions of people like me and most everybody here didn't get an incentive. You know what their incentive was? Protecting their health and protecting the city. But I won't keep you anymore.
It's okay, because my incentive, y'all campaign is about fear. It's about inciting fear in people. You all attack people with fear. That's what this pandemic is.
Absolutely beautiful to watch. I love it. I love the OWN. I do. That's what they get. That is what they get. Like, because what did you think? He was just going to go along with it? And then incentivize. Absolutely. They were out in Philly, in the streets of Philly, by the train stations, in the hood, saying, you want $50? Here, take a vaccine. That's sick. $50. What's going on? So he has every right to be apprehensive. I'm glad he approached them in that manner. I'm glad, man, I wish, God, why can't Fauci knock on this door right now? Oh my God, I would love it. I would be like, oh man, you came to the right house. Matter of fact, come on in and sit down. Because I want to tell you about yourself. Forget just the jab. I want to tell you about yourself from the day you walked into the public health department to quote help. Everything's gone downhill since then. Okay? All right. Moving on to the next segment. All right. So we did Fauci. We're not gonna do Rob Smith because I was supposed to add that onto the matter of fact, I'll add a little bit onto his thing. I'll save Besmanoff for another time. And Trump, I will go live. If they really arrest Donald Trump next week or tomorrow, which I don't think is going to be tomorrow because it was too much. The day was way too precise. Excuse me. The day was way too precise. Although Charlie Kirk said that they're already barricading like the areas of Manhattan for tomorrow. So I don't know. But if Trump does get arrested tomorrow, I will go live about it tomorrow. This is an egregious act. But let me just say this. People who are saying, oh, if you protest for Donald Trump, he's not on your side. He doesn't love you. There we go again. Y'all sound like the black folk who I get mad at when I say, you don't need these white people to love you. You just meet good people and you deal with them accordingly. That's it, right? But it's not about that. It is about the fact that we already know this man has been like, they've been after him for the past 6 years, okay? More than that. They were spying on his campaign. I mean, there's documentaries about it. The plot to take down the president. It plainly puts it out. The lies that were told about Russia, those Russia collusion lies, is why. I mean, it has destroyed everything really for the world if you think about it, because America can never have a good relationship with Russia ever again after that. Never mind the proxy war. All of that. you know, the Ukraine, the impeach. Come on. So if you forgive me if I'm not so above it that if I see a person that they've been trying to get for years, even when I was on the left, I was like, y'all still trying to impeach this man? Like, won't just vote him out. That's it, just vote him out. But they're still trying to get him, and they finally arrest him, even if it is for an hour. Don't you get it? Like, don't you see that the DOJ has been weaponized? It's been weaponized. All right, I already know it's been weaponized, but it's really weaponized. Like now, it's like you don't even have to be doing anything, and they'll come and get you. Y'all heard of Mark Houck, the pastor who was praying for people outside of abortion clinics, trying to pray for them to make the right decision. And then another quote activist saw him doing it. He got in his face. Then he got in his son's face. Then he pushed the guy, because the guy was in his son's face. And he was like, you don't back off my son, and pushed him. And so then the guy pressed charges on Mark Houck. The local courts dropped the charges because they was like, that's insane. They were like, that's insane. Like, why would we even prosecute you over this? Because you had every right or whatever. This is a joke. They threw it out. Okay. And then a year later, the DOJ shows up, the FBI shows up, about to bust in his house and everything, you know, to take him away over that. Okay. And they made it a federal crime. And he was looking at 11 years over that. Mind you, they have him on the ground. His kids are upstairs screaming, crying. It's sad. They were seeing all of this. They were like arresting Amish people. The FBI is going after people who just simply who believe in God. I told y'all that the traditional Catholic is looked at as a domestic terrorist. I told y'all that, right? They're going after individuals who have a strong mind. So please forgive me if I see now that the ultimate symbol of that is we finally got Trump in bracelets. That bothers me. It does. I don't know about sides. Some people out here tripping talking about he made this rumor up and just for attention. No, the news was reporting it first. Okay, he said Tuesday. He shouldn't have said Tuesday. The news was reporting it first. That's all. And so how did he make it up? So he called up NBC and made it up with them. We cannot be so, five-dimensional that we miss it sometimes when it's right in our faces. It's in your face. Then you have people saying, the J6ers, I'm not going to protest for Trump until the J6ers are out of jail. You're not protesting for Trump, okay? You're protesting because of the last freaking 2 years, first of all. Look at how we're living. Collapse, banks, infrastructure, everything. Like the inflation, the eggs are not supposed to be $8. They're not. The gas is not supposed to be $3.50. We don't drill at home. All the other countries that make sense are coming together to collapse the dollar. We don't have anybody defending that. The borders are wide open. What? That's enough right there. That's enough right there. So it's not about, I'm going to protest for Trump. So people who say that, I'm like, you missed the whole beat. You miss it. You don't get it because you still spoiled. But when people talk about intersectionality and lived experiences, it really is a real thing, right? But they've bastardized it so much that it sounds annoying now to hear. No, that's a real thing. So I have an intersectionality of being an American with a Haitian descent, okay, who's a nurse. So I have a lot of experiences and I've seen a lot of things. And I know a banana republic when I see it. I know what my country looks like, right? When I say my country, I'm saying now like my ethnic country looks like. I know what that corruption looks like. And it is looking familiar here. That's all I'm saying. So how bad does it have to get before y'all realize that seeing that happen tomorrow should spark an anger out of you? If that happens, you're not a fanatic just because it sparked an anger out of you. So maybe I'll make that the segment. So we'll see what happens tomorrow. If it happens tomorrow, I'm going to go live. If it doesn't, then I'm not going to go live. Okay. My mouth is so black. All right. I can't keep saying that. And while we're at it too, that's why you got, so I'm going to add this part too. So that's why you have the French. The French are protesting. And when the mainstream media tries to tell you that these are just bad people out there protest. I don't know if they can even lie about it because it's so big. But they'll tell you that somehow it's QAnon out there protesting. Let me just show y'all. No, it's not. They're protesting for real reasons. Here we go. And so, and Graham Allen, he's right, insane. Macron has just banned public protests in Paris after passing laws without approval of the French parliament. Macron has gone full dictator mode. He absolutely has. It's a pension thing. He raised the age on when these people can get their pensions, so they're mad about it. But it was supposed to go to like a vote, like how we would have in Congress. You know, damn. Oh, shoot. Yo.
We f***ed up. We f***ed up.
That is hilarious. Nope, Macron. Look at that. Look what he's doing to the people. Look what he's doing to the people for protesting. Macron has gone over his quote Congress that was supposed to vote for a like a bill, right, or against it. And so he's trying to raise the age of he's trying to raise the age for them to be able to get their pensions. And they said no, and they're mad about it. And so they're out there showing that they're angry. So then he went around Parliament. Now, what made them, this was already a discussion, right? And so that's why they had already started protesting. And so don't listen to anybody, because when these protests first started, I said, let me fall back and just see what's going on. And you had people saying that Antifa was in France. Antifa's been in France. It was not Antifa. It was people saying, we don't have money and you're doing this to us now. And they were shutting down the electricity and everything. They were like, "Oh, listen, we work for the electrical department. We'll shut down your electricity." So I don't know. I do know. I know that kind of anger. You know. Now, I don't. Let me just say this. I don't know that kind of anger personally, but America, if they don't stop playing, man, I've seen that kind of anger. I've seen that in the faces. When I went to Haiti, man, I've seen hysteria. I've seen hunger. It's not a pretty sight. And then my homie Dupont LaJoie, the thing is, so this is when I had posted, I said, everyone but us. And because like when I said everyone but us, it probably signaled that I meant something else. What I'm saying is everybody's protesting but us. The thing is, most of these people, those people who have voted for Macron, they have been brainwashed by the establishment to believe his opponent Le Pen was fascist. See, similar demonization for Trump. When Le Pen's, I'm trying to be cultural. You see, I'm talking in French, right? When Le Pen's economic policies were actually close to the far left party. And so that's the thing. And they did it here too. They did it here. You're right, Dupont. Thank you for sharing that with me. Because I did not know that part about Le Pen. I can't even keep up with American conflicts. But thank you for sharing that bit of information with me. And so that's the thing. So this will probably be its own segment. That's the thing. Yeah. Just like they told you here. They told you Trump was a fascist. They told you Trump was a mean guy. He was a racist and mean tweets, and we got to get rid of him. And then when we got rid of him through the coup d'etat that was done here, yes, it was. And everybody clapped and banged pots. We did it, guys. We saved America. And America's going down the drain. Except for the difference between us and France is that we're just watching it. I guess J6 really did exactly what they wanted it to do. Almost done. I'm saving the best for last. I'm gonna do this coffee short real quick. And that's crazy. Everybody stopped watching. Like, damn, why nobody watching no more, y'all? It's like, no, all right, hold on. But if you do happen to come across, guys, please, why is Nick Fuentes trending? Fuck it, I'm so. If you guys happen to come across, please hit that like button. God, I'm still live. I hate being live long. I go through hell. Like, that's what Michael Jackson said. No wonder what Grip has have to say about Nick Fuentes' claim that women want this ish beat out of him. I guess Nick must have said something. Nick, white nationalist Nick friend, removed from conservative political action conference by security, and that's odd. He was Donald Trump's dinner guest. Hold on. Nick says women are intrigued by him. I'm sorry. Like, oh, okay. I just wish I don't know that I can say this on here. Hold on, let me see.
I'm not surprised why women don't support me. Women are irrational and sensitive. It's just like my whole life. Because I was always like the class clown. I was always like bullying women. And women have always been like simultaneously charmed, but also like, oh, stop it. Oh, you're so annoying. You know what I mean? That kind of thing.
Before he goes any further, because I'm afraid for that word, because they're going to take me off. First of all, they're going to take me off live immediately for even having this guy on here. Let's just have him do this. But he's not wrong about women emotions, though. He isn't. It's like a thing. Seriously, Dennis Prager talks about it, and he says that women have never been taught to keep their emotions at least under control, for at least to not rush to hysteria, and can make like sound decisions and then get emotional. Some type of way to do it. Like, there's no balance until you get older and you realize, like, I need to have a balance. Like, not everything is the end of the world. I've been there. I know that feeling. But all right, hold on.
That's how women are with like with my personality type. You're like a rascal, you're like a bastard.
I forget you.
And they're kind of like, because I'm like a rule breaker and stuff. And so women simultaneously are intrigued by that, but they also have to pretend like they're not, because women, it's sort of like how a lot of women want to be raped.
Ah, God, I was trying to catch it before you said it. All right.
And when I say raped, I mean like, that sounds bad when I say it like that. But there's like a lot of women that really want a guy to beat the shit out of them. But also they have to pretend, but part of it is they have to pretend like they don't.
Oh my God. Why? Like, people need to know how to say things. Oh, F it. I'm already, nobody's watching anyway. What I think he was trying to say is a lot of women want to be manhandled sometimes. That's not far-fetched. I wouldn't have used those words if I was him. Definitely to beat the ish out of no. But dominant man is something that women like. Women like a dominant man. They do. Again, his choice of words, I don't know. Like, but anyway, it's his show. He can say it however he wants to. Maybe he doesn't mean. Maybe I'm making it up for him. Maybe that's not what he meant. But there is this small fraction of what he just said that a woman sometimes wants to be, grabbed onto and get on a bed. That kind of thing. Like, like, have y'all ever seen Gone with the Wind? And there's a scene in Gone with the Wind where, because Scarlett told Red Butler, but now mind you, that's her husband, she said, I don't want to have any more children. And what that translated to because it's supposed to take place back in the 1800s, was we're not getting it in anymore, because they didn't have condoms, or, they didn't have those kind of things. So he was like, I could divorce you for this. And she was like, you would think of that or whatever. But she basically was like, she was like, but I don't want you sleeping in here. And shut the door, make sure to, and if you think about coming in here, I'm gonna lock the door. And then he He's like, you think that if whatever I want, you think this door is gonna get in my way? And then like he breaks the door with his foot. But one night, she went to a party, and when she got home, he was drunk. But so no, yeah, no. She got home or whatever, and then she was gonna go to bed or whatever. Then at midnight or something like 2 o'clock in the morning, she came down to get her little brandy because she used to sneak and drink. But she realized that Red Butler was still up and he was drinking. So that she was like trying to go back upstairs, like, never mind. And he was like, I hear you. He was like, I already know what you do at 3 o'clock. So then when she came in there, he was like, there's no reason why you can't have your brandy without me. With me, I'm not in the way. And so they get into like a tussle or whatever, and then she like an argument, and she was like, you just so dirty, you wouldn't know anything good if it hit you or whatever. And then she was like I'm leaving or whatever, start walking upstairs. And then he was like, you know what, no, you turn your back on me every night, but not this night. You won't turn your back on me. And then he grabs her, and then he brings her, and she's like trying to hit him, and she's hitting him, and then he brings her upstairs. And then the next scene is Scarlett in the bed, like, and she's smiling, and she's like, oh, just all. And then Mammy comes in, and she brings in the breakfast, and she's like, you're like you're in a good mood today. And she's like, I am. And she's like, anywhere, and she's like singing, and then she sinks into her sheets, and she's like like that, like, because she's thinking about last night. She had fun. Okay, she's like, damn, it wasn't bad when he did take it. So she kind of like that a little bit, right? I don't necessarily think that he means that women walking down back alleys want to be picked up by any cokehead, crack fiend, and then to be manhandled or not vandalized, violated. No, get a gun and that person who's trying to do that to you. Okay, I would think that that's what he meant. I don't know, but I wasn't there. I wasn't interviewing him. I don't know, so I'm just putting my own spin on it. I'm letting you guys into a little secret about women. Okay, all right. Now, not every day too somebody wants that, you know what I'm saying? Like, you're not gonna come every time I come home, you trying to like, all right, come here, like, not damn, I'm tired. Like, you have to know what day. Okay, all right, so there's that. So a couple more things. We're almost done. My God, I can't believe I'm so on here. I never go live this long. I only go live long with Hypnotic. He does long lives. Me, I'm just over it already. But even to speak on Nick Fuentes real quick, I think it's nutty.
I'm not surprised why women don't support.
Already bad
women
enough.
are-
I think it's nutty that people shunned him out so much. Like CPAC wouldn't have him on and everything. Like, you don't have to agree with what he's saying. Why do y'all do that? Like, he just let him talk and debate him if you don't like what he's saying. That's all I'm saying. Yeah, he says some stuff like when he talks about all of this stuff with, the Jews, everything the Jews, like, yeah, I could go and debate you, we want to talk about like where things started and everything. Like, yeah, you can go back into a lot of different history and figure out where everybody effed up. Okay, we'll put it that way, right? So I'm just saying, there's a debate for everything. Just debate the guy. No, we got to turn him off of everything. But he's trending. He said that, and then he's trending. And all you do is make a martyr out of the person that you claim to hate so much. All right. But my stance on freedom of speech is very, very, I just feel like people should say whatever they want. Now, if you start talking about let's go ahead and, plot a murder, that's not freedom of speech. That is, and people are smart. We're smart enough to know the difference, or let's hurt kids. We're smart enough to know the difference. So miss me with that argument. Because somebody would say like, oh, well, what if they said that or somebody tried to curse me out one time, so I was on freedom of speech. I don't care. You can call me names. I don't care. Everybody's just so sensitive nowadays. And that's why it's all the same watered down information. I don't know. This is going to be a short, guys, because this is just the most retarded thing I've ever heard. And then we're going to do, like even that word I just said, technically I'm not supposed to say it, like from the 80s. They said things like this. I'm not sure that I even bookmarked it. So if I didn't, I'm not doing it. Okay, looks like I'm not okay. Here we go. This is a short. Is coffee racist? How drinking coffee perpetuates white supremacy. Created by black people for black people, and now a pillar of white supremacist capitalism. If you consume coffee, you are helping an industry built on racism. All right, let's go see who Afro Staff is. It's a real. This can't be a real person. Like that can't be a real person. And it's crazy how everybody stopped watching after I brought up the. What's his name? Afro Staff. I don't think that person's real, but let me see. Okay, maybe it is a. Wow. They've been talking like this for a while. This is, you see, like, you see why y'all can never have a real argument about anything? You see why everybody taking it all as a damn joke? Like, what are we saying here? I mean, this has been a thing. Addressing anti-blackness and specialty coffee. My God, y'all been out here being annoying. The unbearable whiteness of coffee. Y'all been somebody make a coffee company and name it white supremacist flavor. Please do make them mad. I need one of y'all to do that. It can't be me to do it because they're not gonna be make them scared. Call it Confederate coffee. Oh, yes. Please make Confederate coffee. I need y'all to make Confederate coffee. I do. I really do. And man, and I could think of some flavors. That's because it's time for me to get off this thing. My mouth is like, I've been talking all this time. All right, let's see. How to be an ally. We support black artisans. It's supposed to be a short, right? It's coffee racist. How drinking coffee. Okay. If you're a person of color, you know what I'm talking about. You walk into a new coffee shop and your senses are overwhelmed with whiteness. Who is Afro Staff and the glare from Karen's? The white hipster barista lines itself up between you and bathrooms ready to tell you non-customers aren't welcome. They were, oh, the Philly thing. I'm white. Them black boys, they knew it wasn't that deep. They took all that money and then they worked with a Jewish guy, I think, to like get like property and stuff. They didn't care about all that. If you have a white coffee drinking friend, he or she doesn't. Is this person real? The anti-colonial. I'm not reading it. Now we're not more prominent in the coffee industry. Then I'm gonna have to make white supremacy coffee. I'm gonna have to do it. I like my man. I like my coffee strong. White folks drinking coffee. Now that's been established historically, coffee is deeply rooted in colonialism and racism. Why? What happened to make white supremacy is built to the foundation of the coffee industry? The global coffee economy was created through colonialism and white supremacy system under which European countries invaded, subjugate. What the blood? Is it on fact that whites would be eating bland food and plain bread? All right, we got to look up Afro to see what he looks like because I'm pretty sure he's ugly. I'm sorry. I don't care. I don't care. Because no secure man acts like this. This seriously. Because we are not who is that person? Is that him? Well, this nut, he's got coffee with a black guy. I don't know who Afro Staff is. Oh, Afro Staff is not a person, you know. I'm definitely on some fucking retardation. Sorry. Hold on a second. Sorry. Why y'all ain't tell me I was being, hold on a second. Are y'all watching me? That was really retarded of me. I was like, yo, who's Afro Staff? All right, who's the person who wrote this? Like, come on, I need you to stand up. Oh, they get on my nerves. It probably was a liberal white person. Why wouldn't they say who they are? I just wanted to see who wrote the article, but they didn't. Well, then the whole clan at Afro Staff is ugly. Like, because like this is insane. Like, man, I'm not even wasting any more time on this. Like, but I am gonna have to make white supremacist brew. White supremacist brew and Confederate flavor. I can get real bad with this. All right. Last but not least, finally coming to the end of this. What time is it? Oh my God, I said 5:40. All right, y'all. And then I'm gonna do all this, and I'm not gonna feel like editing it. No, but I am gonna edit it though. All right, let's get off this nonsense. Let's talk about real things. But all right, bookmark. All right. Oh man. Oh my God. Sorry. I want y'all to listen to this.
But with her, I'm worried about like her mental well-being and her dilation. The minute she leaves my house, we have a dilation problem.
That is a concern. When you don't have that watchful eye, they tend to go back to old patterns.
I have woken Jazz out of a dead sleep and taken the dilator and put the lubrication on it and said, here, you take this and you put it in your vagina. If not, I will. But Jazz is bad, even when I'm home once a day. I will be so mad if she goes away to college and that thing seals up. I will wring her neck. Can you imagine? No, I can't imagine. But with her,
I'm trying to see the one where Jeanette Jennings said that Jazz came to her and told her she was this lavish story about how she found out that her son was God, this is gonna be the clip of the century. I want y'all to hear this so bad. Barbara. Where's it? I don't know. I think yeah, I definitely did fuck that. Hold on. Oh my goodness. That's all right. Hold on. I know where I'm gonna find this at. I think it's frustrating that I can't find what I'm looking for. Maybe this is it. Is this it? It's not it. Hold on. All right, fuck it. It's not it. All right, because I was trying to find that clip where Jeanette Jennings tries to say that. So Jeanette Jennings, that's the mother of Jazz Jennings, okay? And she said that when Jazz was my computer can't take it no more. When Jazz was she tries to say that when Jazz was 2 years old, she came to her and said, Mommy, when is the hold on, let me find her first because I don't want to, because this is gonna be all of it is gonna be hard to edit. All of it. All right. So that was Jeanette Jennings, and Jeanette Jennings is Jazz Jennings' mother. Jazz Jennings is the person on that show, I Am Jazz, the transgender youth who basically lives their life on camera. You know, everything. We get to know about everything. Okay. And that mother said, now you just heard her. She sounds crazy. Like, oh, you need to dilate that. If you don't, I'm going to put it in you or whatever, you know, because obviously there's been an operation that was done. And we'll get to the operation. Okay. This mom said that when her child was 2, that he came to her and said, Mommy, when is the fairy princess going to come and wave their magic wand and change my genitalia? First of all, my show wouldn't even have been at I Am Jazz. The show would have been like, I have a genius child, because I didn't know 2-year-olds speak like that. Like, I didn't know they had that much like my God, like they genitalia. I don't even use that word. Like, wow, that's a very smart kid. Clearly it didn't happen. Okay. Maybe the boy was running around like putting on heels or just trying on people's shoes. Maybe he was a little extra feminine because he was trying to attach to you. So he picked up your mannerisms. There's a lot of reasons why these things happen. Or maybe kids are just very imaginative and say, Mommy, I'm a girl, when they're really a boy. I've said I was a horse. No, I didn't say I was a horse. I think I said I was a lion before, a frog for sure. So I guess my mom should take me to a doctor, you know, to get some sort of medical treatment or something, instead of, it's a kid. Okay. All right. But now Jazz is having a hard time. This is a leak. The mother of I Am Jazz gaslighting Jazz, saying Jazz is their own worst enemy. Jazz says they don't feel like themselves. Nothing has changed, even though they've transitioned. Their inner feelings is exactly the same as it did before. Hold on. Apparently, this is leaked from like the upcoming episodes. I wonder who leaked it.
So, are you feeling like you wanted to start talking about? Are you okay?
I'm okay.
I'm going to cry.
You know I can't get out of my head.
I know. No, listen.
It just doesn't stop.
It's okay. Give me a hug. It's okay. I know what you're going through. We've been there before.
No, it still doesn't stop now.
I
And
know.
I'm already
Well,
going
the
back
more
to
you-
negative.
But the more you're talking about yourself, it gets harder. You're digging in, and it's making you put a magnifying glass on what's already difficult as it is. So this is hard for you. I know. And we don't want to push
And
you
I know
anymore.
I'm the one doing it. Like,
I know you're your own worst enemy.
I feel kind of all over the place, and like my mind is very cluttered and not clear. And I really want to have that clarity. I really want to understand myself and be able to read my own soul and what I want. And it's just very challenging. And I think I'm kind of breaking down a little bit and spiraling into negativity. I just want to feel like myself. Like, that's
Right.
it. I don't
Like the
care.
old Jazz?
All I want is to be happy and feel like me. And I don't feel like
What
me
is me?
ever.
All of those surgeries, all of those hormones, and he never feels like himself ever. That is, unless he's giving a speech about how great transition is in front of a crowd. And then it's exactly what he needed, and he finally feels like himself.
Jazz.
Now, before I get into this, is Jazz. They're still making TV shows about Jazz Jennings. Now it's about the massive weight gain and the binge eating. Mental health must be a huge problem, and the family. What can I say? Huge problem, and the family. I guess. What can I say? So there you go. So, and this is Jazz now. And I'm gonna come back to me real quick because we're wrapping all of this up. So what you have here, this child is screaming for help. Mom is saying, stop talking about it because it's making you trip even harder. That's basically what she's like, you keep talking about it, you're going to keep thinking about it. Like, just stop. You can't just tell that person to just stop. He's saying he doesn't feel like himself, and he won't, okay? Mom is trying to gaslight and basically saying, like, basically by saying stop talking about it is put it under the rug. Okay, very unsafe place for all those feelings to go, but hey, whatever, right? We need to get this money, put that shit under the rug, right? Okay, now this child says that their mind is cluttered and they're spiraling into negativity. These are broad terms. These are broad accepted terms. What the child wants to say is, I made a mistake. Yeah, Jazz has had the surgery. Jazz, I mean, that was like a couple years ago, okay? And Jazz, in my opinion, seems to be going through what happens to apparently a lot of these people when they have that ultimate surgery. Okay, I've seen a documentary where one person was like, the minute I did it and I woke up and realized it was done, I basically like went crazy, like immediately. I'm suicidal constantly, like that kind of thing. All right, to even talk about the surgery, you're cutting off a very important part of your body. Okay, you're just cutting it off. It's part of you. It's a part of you. It's never done anything to you. It's a part of you. Okay. And then you're reconstructing and doing a bunch of sewing and putting back together. And there's like clips where they're in this person's, like, because Jazz had to have like, I think 3 or 4 surgeries because the wound kept dehiscing, because that's what it is. It's anastomosis. They're trying to like put parts of the body together, but why it would keep dehiscing? Of course, the body knows it's like, it's not just gonna just connect, it's trying to reform itself, like something happened here. All right. And then the other part is, now you have to insert something inside of you every day to keep it open. And there are a lot of people who it's closed up. They can't get anything inside of them anymore because it closed up. Yeah, that because this isn't natural. It will close up. A natural one doesn't close up. Okay, so now we have to think about, after you slash all that off and you just get rid of all the testicles, and that's a lot of hormones. Like the lady said, like now he's on hormones, but it's natural homeostasis. So you probably put this child in a really bad chemical imbalance. It's a part of you. Now it's gone. And the homeostasis is not happening because you're taking a lot of enzymes away. Even when you were like puberty blocking, it was still something there. Like, so that's already going to have you at a chemical imbalance that's not good. And then the psychological thought of like, oh my God, I really did that. And guess what? My dysphoria is not cured because maybe it wasn't gender dysphoria. Maybe it was that you just wanted acceptance. Maybe you realize how mommy reacted to you when she put the dresses on and you smiled. And so you kept on and you kept going. Children are very resilient for a long time until they're not. Okay. Maybe that's what it was, you know? And then you had a show. Come on, you had to forget it now. Once you got on Barbara Walters and everything, and this lady's Munchausen by proxy is definitely being rewarded with the ratings, money, trips, everything, books. And so she tells her, whoa, stop talking about it, bro. Like, what are you doing, man? You're about to mess everything up. Wow. And so now you have a Jazz who looks like this. Now, also, I want to read this thing to you guys. I'm going to be signing it off. Like, this isn't the face of a happy person. First of all, and the belly is this big. The homeostasis is off too, because even if this child was just binge eating, it shouldn't come off like where it's all going to the gut necessarily. It is, oh man, it's sad. It's really sad. And to see the baby pictures of this baby, like, Jesus, man. This is like from a Reddit or something of transgender surgeries. The person says, I've never cheered on trans suicide, nor did I ever fight for children to starve and die. Jazz Jennings got a botched vaginoplasty on a major television network as a minor. Damn, I thought she was 18. You can no longer deny this is happening to children. Puberty blockers are not reversible. I have spoken up against cis people getting cosmetic surgery. I don't know what cis is. I wish I would stop using that. I cannot stand that word. When y'all use the word cis, it sounds like exactly that, like a boil. I just can't stand. But anyway, gender affirming surgeries are not safe. Most have an outcome similar to this. Read. So I'm about 21 months post-op with a sigmoid colon vagina. I don't even know what that means. You even from right there, you have to put it in perspective, that does not make sense. Your sigmoid colon is never supposed to be connected to a vagina. That would be called somehow like a fistula. That is absolutely abnormal. Had my operation at Camol Hospital. My orgasm since surgery has been gradually weakening. And that girl, she talked about that on the show. Because she does look like, I will say, it's been so long, she does look like a girl. I do try not to do that though. I do. But he does talk about that on the show. This does happen. Now I'm at the point where I've lost 90% of my, and the fact that like on the show too, I'm sorry, like she goes back and says like, my clitoris, I'm not getting clitoral stimulation. I'm like, what the frick kind of prawn is this? I'm not sure that come on. Now I'm at the point where I've lost 90% of my orgasm. Immediately afterwards, I'm sexually frustrated. Somebody's at the door. I'm sexually frustrated again. During playing myself, my genitals go numb and I get pins and needles. Christ have mercy. Sometimes when I'm standing or sitting, I'm numb. I have had cauda equina ruled out. I can touch and feel my genitals. However, I will go numb during the act. It's just making me want to, I feel no arousal. My orgasms are a waste of time. I wonder if I can say these words on. I'm gonna have to. I don't want to reread this though. I am sexually frustrated beyond belief and completely wanting to end myself. Which surgeon is going to best be able to deal with this, urology or neurology? I'm located in Australia. Would anyone happen to know who might be able to help me the best? Okay, this hospital has abandoned me and doesn't care about my ongoing problems. I wish I wasn't around. This is an effing nightmare. My orgasm and cessation pre-surgery was 1,000 times better than now. Yeah, because dog, like it wasn't this whole thing that they made for you. That's not how it works. And apparently that happens to a lot of people. This is sad. This is a crime to humanity. This is a crime to God. Like this is just a crime. Like this is terrible. To tell people, for a child to have an imagination and then you go along with and make that child delusional. These are kids. A grown-up wants to go up and do something that's a child. Now that person, I don't know if that was a child, the person I was reading their story, but that's a child. We are supposed to protect kids. And so for the people too who say, why do you care? It's not that serious. Isn't your child? Guess what, man? I keep trying to tell y'all the legislation is being written to not only protect us, but to move in on you who want to just live and let live, right? That's long gone. You have to watch a Disaffected podcast. He talks about it in Vermont. They had these stickers they were putting out, like a simple sticker campaign that was simply saying, you're not born in the wrong body. And oh my gosh, they have legislating saying that they've legislated some bill or something to say basically that this is a hate crime. Such a positive and beautiful message, like love yourself the way you are, right? Now, not only that, they're pushing legislation where your taxes will pay for this. This is in Philly. There's been so much legislation written about this that I'm finally looking up. And we are behind the 8 ball. This was being done in 2019. People are waking up to it because what ended up happening was that a lot of kids, when they were left at home, when they were locked down from school in 2020, then the people were hearing what the teachers were teaching about. And they were like, wait a second, what are they teaching y'all? So a lot of schools were teaching some really weird stuff, you know? And now people are like, wait a second, how long has this been protected? It's been protected. And it's to the point too, where they have sanctuary places. If you have a wife, and I do go to the women first, I do, because women do things. If you have a wife and the wife says, I'm going to trans our son, and this happened to a man in Texas, and you're saying, no, I'm not a part of this, and your son is coming to you when they come visit you and say, I don't want to wear these dresses anymore, Dad. Like, I don't want to do this. Your 8-year-old kid, but she keeps forcing me to wear the dresses. Now, when you go to fight to get custody, they won't give you custody. Not only that, she can move to Vermont and say it's because she's running away from you because now you're a predator, and that's a sanctuary place now. Okay, and you won't be able to save your child. Pay attention. Okay, and this is what I mean when people say, "Oh, you just go off. Let's bring some balance." Balance to what? There is no balance. That live and let live was gone a long time ago. Number two, when people would say like, it's not your child, why do you care? So I guess we're just cool with child abuse as long as it's inside a person's roof, under a person's. Why do we even have CPS then? Right? Kids that are getting beat all day long and all, when they take them out the house, why are we doing that? It's not my kid. Why should I care, right? How far does this go? And with that, the live is ending. I'm exhausted. My mouth is so dry. So, you guys, thank you for coming through. Thank you for hitting the like button. We talked about everything on this channel. And listen, we're not going to agree on everything all the time. And as long as we can have a simple discussion about it, that's all that matters. Okay, guys, thank you again for coming through. I am ending the live, and I'll see you guys at the next one. Bye.